Do 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 do. Oh yeah. So we're live here building a monthly membership program. 7 lessons learned, 7 things to avoid. You might not see me just yet. Doing my hair for you, getting my makeup set. Got a couple minutes before we start. Figured I'd make sure the stream was working. Ever get so excited about something that you're just like, can't sleep? Well, I did get good rest. However, I got up at 5 a.m. I wanted to dial this in for you, make sure you got it. I'm over here just making sure the stream's doing what it's supposed to do. And making sure the sound's working as well. Let's double check all this. All right. Sounding good, looking good. Should I make my debut? Do, 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 do. Okay. Got that. Got that. Wirecast is live. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for being here. I am loving what we created. This is a culmination of all the requests, questions, life lessons, all the stuff that has happened in the last year. Actually, a little more than the last year. This really started, like this iteration of the monthly program started I want to say it was May 1st-ish of 2017 when we were at the Brendan Bouchard Mastermind, High Performance Mastermind in Scottsdale, Arizona. And Brendan asked this really powerful question and had us get up in front of everybody. And that question was something we're reviewing today. But essentially it was, what's that one offer, that single offer you want to put into the world? And then I took that a couple steps further and said, what's the one offer that I want to put into the world purposefully, passionately, positively, filled with joy, live productively towards, it's part of my life's ambition, and profitably too, in light of everything that I've done and everything that I know about like business, the internet, life, all those things. And that came to be our beautiful monthly mastery community. And that is everything. The beauty is when you get in alignment with that, people feel it. And that's the part I just believe in my heart that everybody who's in our beautiful community, we're now up to 80 plus members, are like feeling the love. And I challenge them if they don't to let me know, because I'll bring it. You know what I mean? I know some of you do, because some of you are from the mastery community. I want to shout out to everybody who's here. Patrick, let's see, Patrick, Sarah, drawing blanks, Karen, all these people are here. We got about, let's see, timer's showing about 5 seconds. So you ready? Ready to crush this? All right, here we go. And go. So here we are in the building a monthly program, the 7 crucial steps I took to go from 0 to over 170K as of today. So this all started about 11 months ago. And my job today is to break it down for you, to challenge you, to make sure you own this. So before we start, I just want to say thank you so incredibly much for letting me have the opportunity to really just give you the needle movers, but also inspire you, motivate you, care for you, care for your future, care for those you love, that you serve, that you're gonna serve, and the world. Because we know right now the world needs us, inspiring, motivating, bringing the sensation of, yeah, things are good. Things are okay over here. In light of the way that media is and all these kind of things, they're just known for bringing up that bad emotion because that's what gets people clicking and viewing, unfortunately. We'll talk a lot about that today. But I just want to thank you so much. I just want to make sure this may be, I take this so incredibly seriously, this may be the one thing that shifts the trajectory of your life. I want you to consider that for a minute. If there's one thing in this training that's like, need to double down on that, need to really consider that, this may be it. And I'm going to dare say forever. If you caught me just before our live cast today, I was on with my Facebook Live. I just did a Facebook Live real quick. And I celebrated that one thing came from this guy, Ed Aiken. Ed Aiken owned the building that I was in when we were running the computer company, Total System Support. I was blessed to be the vice president, general manager, working for Craig Colston. Craig, rest in peace. He's like, Char, take the reins, man, 1992, you let me have them. But I didn't yet, which is the reason why Ed became this mentor of mine, was that I was trading time for money and I reached my cap, but I kept pushing. and I burn out. And I remember booking up the stairs after going out, delivering a computer. Back in those days, we did extra, right? We took the computer out to people. This is back before Windows, so it was difficult to use, like Lotus, WordPerfect, Quicken for DOS, all these things. I took the computer out to this lady, spent an hour and a half with her, setting everything up, making sure it all worked, making sure she knew how to turn it on, turn it off, get into everything. Came back and realized I had made $50 in profit on that deal. And I'm like, oh my gosh, not only is this not working out real well, but that wasn't really profit. You know what I mean? Like, that was really more my expense. And I had total frustration. Came upstairs, about 4:30, Ed's in his office, right at the top of the stairs, cracking a beer. You hear him go, ah. Next thing you know, I come pulling in, and usually I come in there like, hey man, what's up? This day it was a little different. Ed, what's up, man? And he broke it down for me. He said, Char, here's the thing. You need to think of a business a different way. The way we do it. He owns Aiken Insurance, or owned Aiken Insurance, still going on. And he said, you got to think of it a little different way. And what he let me know was about recurring revenue, taking care of the same customer, getting repayment, recurring payment over time. So it didn't take me long, quick study, said, all right, we have an industry coming up, internet service provider, where we do subscriptions, and I think I can get in on that. And we built this beast, Internet Services of Michigan, a storefront, 1996, dedicated to getting you on the internet, computers, programming, web hosting, the whole shebang, with books, classes, the whole thing. Because of that shift, I put extra pressure. I doubled down on the subscription idea. Influenced my ex-wife, Tara, shout out to Tara, to tell her, you know what, I think we should go after this. She did what she could to get it all to go. We were strapped. We had to come up with 40 grand. We had 9. She magically got us 12. I was able to work with 12 to get things going. That was in September, August 1995. Fast forward to October 10th of 2000. That business grew to have 10,000 subscribers. Next thing you know, we're able to retire. I was 29. I was able to live my childhood dream of driving a truck in the form of a RV bus, the Intruder, with our gray Jeep on the back. This was the very first night in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Pulled in, slid the slide outs out, well, put the jacks down, then slid the slide outs out, went after it, put in our 50 amp service, took care of it, living free. My dream for you is today, and we're gonna break this down for you, is that you know what the steps are to live a life with more freedom, with living into your dream. You define your dream. I'll challenge you on this as we go through this. Does that all make sense? So just a shout out to Ed. Want to make sure. The other thing that I want to take care of for you is this. This is really, really critical. I talk a lot about this in our training. I'm going to be demonstrating the 3 R's of an expert today. And I challenge you with any expert you follow to make sure they live into these 3. If you're really going to go after dreams, if you're really going to take them serious. The first is they're the researcher. They're always in learn mode. They're always consuming. They're going after it. They're also the role model. They're living into it. They're doing it. Everything I share with you today is stuff that I did. This is one-man operation. You saw me turn on you didn't see me turn on the camera, but you saw me turn on the live stream over here on the little computer. I got it all wired up, figured it all out, redid this room a bunch of times to make sure I could serve in the very best ways for you. Lived into it. But the most important part that I want you to take away today is the results expert. Is that the things that I'm going to share with you today are actual results. There's a lot of people on this beautiful planet of ours who are research experts. Nothing wrong with that. They are role modeling, but they don't demonstrate clear results. And I want to make sure you understand the things that I'm going over today, everything. I did not bring my team into this business, this revenue stream intentionally, and I'll tell you why as we move through this, so that I could tell you from the results, tested that, did that. When we get into our Q&A today, you'll know without a doubt that your answers are coming from a place of, got down that road, here's what happened. And thanks so much, we got a couple of them that we're really gonna hit out of the park, already pre-printed. So really, really important. A lot of people ask me, how do I reduce FOMO, the fear of missing out? And they say, follow less people. Because a lot of people are on the hunt, gotta consume content from 15, 20 different people. Look for the people who are generating the results. as you probably know, Brendan Burchard, major man. Shout out to him for making today totally possible. I'll tell you why in a little bit too. Big point of what he's done is he's generated the results. He's the data guy. He's also the guy in the front speaking. He's also the guy on video teaching, right? That's a big part of that. So I'm down to 3 mentors. I'll be happy if you want. Comment below. Let me know if you want to know who they are. I'd be happy to share that. Really, really important. Next up, as of right now, along the line of results, I just captured the screenshot moments ago. Here's where we're at. Off the Kajabi dashboard. Almost $37,425 in the last 30 days. And a net revenue now of this revenue stream started last August of almost 175K. I do not say that to brag. I say that because we are going to be going over some, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this. We're going to go over this really important distinction that will help you reach your goals. I'm not making any guarantees. I can't. The FTC says so. But what I can tell you is there's a very specific process for this and how we scale this and how we grow this. And we're going to go over it with you. I hope you're excited. If you're excited about this, comment below. I'd love to hear. We're going to cover this really, really important concept, growth versus scale, and how they intercorrespond. And there's so much that I want to share with you. I've been working on this presentation for, well, let's see, 3 months, 4 months, and I got it dialed in this morning for it, and I think you're going to really love it. So let's make sure we understand how to get the most out of our time together. First of all, I know this is going to be a lot, but the beauty of it is you get the replays. And you get the replays in a way that are broken out in the steps, because I'm going to make sure to edit them that way. So you can just ka-chunk on one, ka-chunk on another, chunk on another, and maybe prioritize the steps after you learn what they are, right? To make sure that you know what, this is what I got to work on first. And this is how I'm going to do the presentation for you. Teach you that. So make sure there are no distractions. I just don't want you to miss out on anything. You could go after that email, get on the phone, whatever that is. You might miss the one theme, the one story, the one teachable point, the one challenge that could be your needle mover, like me stepping in Ed's office. You follow? Next, take notes. Make sure you star your questions. Right after this, we're going to have our live Q&A roundtable, and I'm here until we have our coaching call tonight at 8 p.m. So whatever I can do to support you, got the whiteboard cleared. We will do strategy. We will make it happen. If you're watching the replay, you get access to the replay. You'll see the questions. Ask in the comments below. Make sure, because I'm going to be answering these questions forever, making sure. And probably, if there's a question that comes up that wasn't covered or wasn't covered in the Q&A, I will probably film a video and put it in this as a bonus. And if it's a tactical thing, I'll show you how I do it. Like if it's a tactical question about how I set up Kajabi or how I set up the live cast, that kind of stuff, I'll just kind of screencast it, show it to you. These are the kind of things. That's what you get. Cool? Next up. Be open and vulnerable. This may hit on, as we get in, especially in the first step, it may hit on things that question your belief in yourself, question your ability to handle stuff. You follow? If that happens for you, be open and vulnerable. We got a lot of people in the community in this, not only in the live cast, but also in the replay, and we'll make sure to take care of you. We're here for you. I want you to know that. We'll show up in just a minute. Also, make sure you participate. I reward for participation. I'm looking for the people who are asking the questions, helping other people, answering, yeah, do I have this? Do I not? Saying the challenge, my challenge is I'm going to challenge you a lot. My challenge is X. You write it out in the comment below. Would love to see it. Whether you're in the live cast or in the replay, please comment. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Gotcha. And always know we're here for you. Not only am I here for you, there's a lot of people in our mastery community that are here too. They're here for you as well. Really important to me that you know you're loved, you're cared for, and you're challenged, but you're having a growth conversation around what's possible for you for the future. Cool? So why is all this important? Right now we have a very critical shift. You're seeing it in the books, and I got 3 books for you to kind of help understand what this recurring revenue subscription model is all about. That's basically what a monthly membership program is based on, right? We have The Membership Economy by Robbie Kellman Baxter. We have Subscribed, Why This Subscription Model Will Be Your Company's Future and What to Do About It by Sue and Weisert, I think is how you say their last names. And then we have The Automated Customer, which was one of my favorites, Creating a Subscription Business in Any Industry by John Warrillow. These books all tell the story in their own ways of how right now we're in what we call the Netflix generation. People are okay with paying for access to service to solution versus owning service, solution, product. You follow? You see all the big guys are going towards that model. Like you can buy an iPhone now and you pay a monthly fee over 24 months. So it's kind of like a subscription service, just with a limit to it, right? You see Netflix, obviously. You see Apple Music. Instead of having a huge library of DVDs or CDs, like I used to have, I got Apple Music and I got everything in there. And I can grab any of the albums that I used to have or CDs. Wham! Oh, I haven't heard that song in a while. Boom. So we're in the Netflix generation. It's okay. We're in the mass adoption stage. If you know anything about the bell curve, there's that top part. It's mass adoption. So if you don't have an offer out there that has a price tag on it with a recurring model with no end, you're missing out. And my job today is to help you get there if that's what you want. How's that sound? Tall order, right? Next, it can be your single revenue stream for living your dream lifestyle. I didn't get that right with my internet business because I was too far in it. I could have pulled myself out, didn't know it till after we sold it. Oh, we could have kept it and lived this lifestyle. I totally saw that after the fact. Well, I designed the lifestyle I have now around this. And we're going to talk that through. Actually, that's the first step. So with all that being said, the real reason, and I hope you feel this, resonates with you, is those beautiful 5 Ps that I teach. My theme, my ambition for you, is that on the beautiful time you have on this planet, you live purposefully. You've defined what it means to have a purpose, to help others, hopefully as part of that purpose, that you live passionately, that you have the drive every day to get up like I did today. My alarm was set for like 6. I was up at 5. I'm like, I get to serve today. It's video day. I'm on it. Patrick, I'm shouting out to you. Video day. Brennan, that whole scene of getting into it and really owning it for you. That you live positively. That whatever you create here helps you help the world and yourself live more joyously, more happy, more positively. And you're living productively, not busy work, but going after your life's work, your life's ambitions. We're going to talk a lot about that today. And most importantly, to sustain yourself, your family, the business, to enjoy life, what do we have to do? We have to live profitably. And I'm going to really demonstrate how you do that in short order. I'm going to buck the trends. I'm going to bust some myths. We're going to go through a huge journey together. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you understand this is me living purposefully. Right over there, I have my purpose statement. I took a picture of me with it with my okay, oh yeah shirt on. And it's the purpose of my life is to be fully present, authentic, abundant, caring, compassionate, and inspiring. To help improve people's lives by helping them from where they're at to where they want to be. If you can see that, there's a little star right there. Guess what? Most people don't know where they want to be. They don't dream big enough. So that they can live their life passionately and intentionally, full of clarity and purpose, while continually working towards their life's ambitions. I hope in the short amount of time we've been together so far, you're feeling it. That's my job on this planet, is to live into those things. And I'm going to teach you exactly how, through what we've done, through this journey, through what I offer, to help you get there, and most importantly, to sustain it and to level up. That's high performance, right? So with that all being said, this training is dedicated to the man, Ed Aiken. Thanks so much. He just passed away a few months ago. Thanks so much, Ed, for being the guy who helped this guy out, course corrected my life, was the inspiration, motivation, try not to break down here. He was the guy that, looking back, that was the pivotal shift I needed. It was the right time. Him cracking the beer, him being there, him just at that moment of need, he just showed up. Try to think about it this way. Maybe you need to adjust the way you're approaching things. Really? Good news for a 23-year-old. And I'm also dedicating this training to Grandma Gramps. Bob and B showed me what entrepreneurialism is, showed me what unconditional love is. Really demonstrated how to serve others, help others unconditionally, taking care of them, really being there for you, loving on you, caring for you, supporting you, challenging you, and rocking it out. So are you ready to start this? I want to make sure you got your notes out. because we're going to hit some stuff heavy and hard, and it's going to be a little bit up here. That's why you're getting replays. I want to make sure I'm pushing you. I'm challenging you. And I really want to make sure, Patrick, I'm looking out for you, that you've got your punch list or your spreadsheet or whatever it is, that you hit the ground running tomorrow. You got it going on and you're clear on direction. You ready for this? All right, number one, the first critical step that I took is I had to know my numbers and my dream lifestyle. So go ahead, write that down. Know my numbers and my dream lifestyle. Here's the theme. Most millionaires have 7 or more revenue streams. And I want you to pay attention to that thought. So for me, the monthly membership program is one of many revenue streams. I have other revenue streams. I have my internet marketing development business. I have investments. I have properties. I have all these different revenue streams, right? But the presupposition here is that I am not the technician who has to work 40 to 60 hours a week under one revenue stream. Although it can feel like that when you're setting up your monthly program, let me tell you. But you're in setup phase, and in any setup phase of any business, that's the shift. You double down, you go after it. You let the people know who are important in your life. Hey, you know what? I'm in setup phase, so if you don't see me for a while, I'm going to create some legacy here. Let me go. My job today is to help you down that path faster than you are on your own. So the very first exercise we're going to do, and this is the beautiful reveal that I came up with. If you ever watch Brendon Burchard or any of the trainers, a lot of times they'll put stickies up. I didn't have time to set all that up on the whiteboard and have dissect it in the time we got together, so I just did it in Keynote on the Mac, which is like PowerPoint. So the very first number you must know is your BE. What is that? It's your break even. What is it that you must reach and sustain to take care of yourself and your family and what's most important from a financial perspective? This includes any mortgage, car payments, groceries. I would dare say a little padding in there for, a little bit of emergency fund, those kind of things. You follow? Here's what I found. When I coach entrepreneurs, it's usually around $60K a year. Sometimes it's higher, depending on where you live, but it's $60,000 a year as a break even. That assumes that they're either living by themselves or they're living with somebody and they're sharing expenses. It's about $60,000 a year. Cool. It could be higher for you, could be lower for you. I don't know your story. I don't know, exactly what you're responsible for, but let's just use 60 as a break-even example. Next, we have to define our comfort. And when I teach people this and coach entrepreneurs on this, comfort is usually 2 times break-even, assuming you don't have, what do they call that? Inflationary expenses. You follow? So in this model, 60K times 2 is 120 a year. So if we kept our expenses and lived into our break-even at 60K a year and we doubled that, breathing room, right? So there's a challenge for you out of the gate here, and that is to really find that break-even for you, but also when the money starts to flow in, the number one thing I see people do, and this really hurt people in 2010, 11, 12 when the economy shifted, was they were living way out of their means, figuring the money would keep coming. So it's to just live to that break-even. Be careful of inflationary expenses. Finally, you got to know your D. What's D? Break even, comfort, dream level of income. Now, dream could be anything, millions of bucks. But for the sake of argument today, we're going to say it's 5 times break even. So it's $300,000 a year. Now again, these numbers could be different. So if you had 100,000, that'd be 200,000, that'd be 500,000. 1 times, 2 times, 5 times. You follow? Our job, as we think this through, is to stay away from what I call level 1 income. And that's trading time for money. Remember when I started the livecast today, I said, Ed helped me break through level 1. I was trading time for money. I was at my max. I couldn't possibly install more computers. I was one guy. I had some support, but I was one guy going out and doing it. And I didn't like the way that looked because, dang, that's a lot of work. Not that I'm afraid of work. I'll take care of it. But it wasn't something I could see doing over the long term. What Ed helped me break through was this, level 2, where the money's at. Recurring revenue. Now the theme, we'll talk more about this later, recurring revenue, in the case of what we're talking about today, monthly subscriptions, equals personal freedom. You follow? So level 2 income is recurring revenue. If you got your notes out, make sure you got a drawing of this. Would love to see it, by the way, if you want to email me or send it to me. I'd love to see your version of this. Cool? Then we have what we call level 3 income. And this is where you see palm trees and sunshine. And basically, level 3 income is a percentage of sale, percentage of profit. What does that actually mean? It means that when I go through and I have the recurring revenue stream, I'll recommend things. And when I recommend things, they can be called commission links or affiliate links. I'll get a piece of that. So for example, the very camera I'm looking at right now to see your beautiful eyes is a Panasonic GH5. And on my one blog, I have this camera posted. And in the last couple months, I've made a few $100s just by people clicking on it and buying it from Amazon. It's like $98 every time somebody buys the camera off my link. So we have these stacked revenue streams. And what I really want to make sure of is that we want to stay out of the red, really focus on the green, and make sure that we have the blue in play too. Does that all make sense? If you have any questions about this so far, these are the fundamentals. Let me know, comment below. I'm going to make sure to take care of you and answer you as we move through our Q&A later today. Cool? Our job now, this is my challenge for you, is very clear. You want to get your break even through level 2 income. I want you to sense freedom. The moment you see recurring payments coming in automatically and you recognize that those recurring payments equal your break even, you should feel a sensation of, oh yeah, baby, we're on it. What I'm going to break down for you is how to do that in short order. Sound good? You excited? I'm so happy you're here. Thanks so much for giving me the opportunity to help you, support you, serve you. Just give you distinctions that make it rock for you, for those you care for, love, and serve. Cool? Now the dream, where the gold's at, guess where the gold's at? Is here. Is getting dream connected to level 2. So imagine you're getting those payments every month, throughout the month, and they equal $300,000 a year, automatically. And you're only working a few hours a month. And I know that sounds kind of like cliche, like, oh, work a few hours a month, make $300K. Well, I'm gonna break it down for you and make it easy for you to get there. That's my job today, is to really walk you through how this works. Cool? Any questions so far? I want to make sure you get this. If you have any insights, thoughts, takeaways, you know what, how can I actually do that? We're going to cover that in just a second. Pop the question below. Again, we're rewarding for participation. So next up, how? How do I do this with a monthly membership program? Easy peasy. You ready? Oh, this is so gold. I love this reveal, by the way. I hope you like it. The first thing that I did is I opened up a founding membership program, Founding Members. Founding members at $97 a month. And what I want you to be clear about is this. When you offer founding membership program, but the actual program costs $300 a month, and that's just my illustration of the way I'm doing it, there's immediate price juxtapositioning available. There's immediate scarcity, immediate urgency, because there's a limited amount of people that can purchase at that. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. Then we have the early bird level, or early adopter. I call that early adopter, early bird. And that's after you have your founders, that next tier up is $197 a month. And if you're worried about pricing, shove that over here. Like, what can I do for $197 a month? Don't even worry about that. We're going to cover that in huge detail in a little bit. Just think about the numbers and creating your dream lifestyle right now. Do not worry about the value you're going to offer and delivery. Got you taken care of there. Just think through this and follow this. Cool? And then finally, we have general members at $297 a month. That's the actual retail price of our membership. You follow that? Now here's the beauty. To reach break even, we need 50 founding members at $97 a month. It equals about $60K a year. So what I'm going to challenge you to do, and I'm going to break it down for you as we go through our steps today, is to think about 50 relationships that you need to create, build, and maintain that can be your founders at $97 a month. Again, if you're like, $97 a month scares me. I don't know what I could ever do for that. We'll break that down for you. Do not worry. Cool? Next tier is you need 100 relationships at $197 a month to bring in another $240K a year. Guess what these two numbers together equal? $300K. You follow the way this works? $60K was our break even. 300K was our dream. With 150 people, we've reached dream level of income. Well, let's just not stop, shall we? Now our job is, and I'm going to break this down, you're going to love how this breaks out later, is to create another 200 relationships at $297 a month to bring in another $713K a year, and all these numbers added up are what? 1 million a year, 7 figures with 350 relationships. If that seems too big for you, you need to think bigger. If you want to just work on the top two, that's what growth versus scale is about. We're going to cover that in detail for you. I wanted to make sure right out of the gate, we're not even 30 minutes into this, and we've already connected break even, comfort, dream with something that I hope you feel is achievable for you. Now again, I'm asking you, sort out if you have money issues about charging, sort that out for later. All we're trying to do here is connect your dream level of income with exactly how that can look in a monthly membership program and exactly what I'm doing. You follow? So with everything I've shared so far, I would love for you to comment below any thoughts, questions, insights, takeaways. What is it for you? Anything there? So now we're going to shift. We're going to pivot here, and I want to talk about the dream lifestyle. Remember at the beginning it was know my numbers, know my dream. My dream lifestyle was incredibly clear. I journaled on this from May to August when we first debuted of 2017. And my dream lifestyle was to have 8 hours of scheduled training and group coaching per month, 1 Saturday and 2 Wednesdays. So think about that for a minute. 8 hours of scheduled coaching and training per month, 1 Saturday, 2 Wednesdays a month. So as you know, tonight we'll have at 8 o'clock our group coaching call. And a couple weeks from now, we'll have another group coaching call on a Wednesday. 1 Saturday a month, I'm training for 2 hours, and then we're live cast Zoom roundtabling for as long as it takes. So 3 days a month, I'm doing the work, taking care of you. Training, coaching, those kind of things, answering questions. The rest of the month, I'm supporting our beautiful members, checking in, seeing how they're doing, really helping. But I'm also enjoying life, right? Guess where I'm doing that from? Anywhere. I had a great call with Karen yesterday. I was telling her, as we move into the last half of this year and in 2019, I want to set up members' studios. I want to set up with our mastery community. I want to come out, for whoever wants this, come out, help you set up your studio and do a training from your studio for our mastery community. How cool would that be? Because we got to make sure it works, right? We'll set up your studio, do a training from it, and I'm wherever you're at. Training from wherever. I've structured the way that I've created this so that I can train from a hotel room in London. I can coach from a hotel room or a house in Stockholm, coming for you, Petra and Janny. I can go to Sweden. I could go to, well, that was Sweden, Switzerland. Anywhere there's good Wi-Fi in my laptop, I'm ready to go. Got to have a flip chart and maybe a little screen TV if they got one. If not, we'll just do it old style where I show you the screens on there and then flip over to the flip chart live off the laptop camera. You follow? That's my dream. Support, serve wherever at our communities, homes, offices, studios. You follow? Well, meeting my dream income each month automatically. You follow? Was that a lot to digest? So here's how it looks. You pop open your email. This is commonly what happens on a day-to-day basis. You see, poof, congratulations, just received 97 bucks. Poof, congratulations, just received 297. Poof, congratulations, just received 197. I think you get the idea. 97, 297, 97. They're just showing up in your email and you're living into the dream lifestyle. How would that feel? Do you have that going on in your life right now? Are you ready for your challenges? I know I threw a ton at you. I tested this. I hope it landed for you. One thing I'll be teaching you a little bit is you never know. It's all about you and your journey. So this went over your head a little bit. Really consider what we talked through. I challenge you to sort out the money. If you think that money is too much to charge, don't worry, we're going to work through that. Cool? Just sort out the dream lifestyle and how you connect it to a program layout like I've described or something similar, whatever it is for you. Your 3 challenges, real clear. This is where you should be taking major notes and sharing below. Number 1, define your break-even, your comfort, and your dream layers of life. What does it mean for you to live at break-even? So many entrepreneurs I've coached over the years, once we hit break-even, they're like, but the ones who aren't paying attention start spending more. And you've got to just let that break even and recoup initial expense or initial startup costs sometimes and pay off debt, whatever that would be. Then go for comfort, dream, but you got to know what those numbers are. You got to have goals around those numbers. Next, vibrantly describe your dream. I spent literally 2 months open journaling. That means that I kept that Evernote, I do my journaling in Evernote, open, and I would add to it. I want to be able to do this work from anywhere in the world. How can I do that? And I just told you how that could be. I want to be able to serve people. I want to be able to train 3 days a month. And the rest of the month, I can do what I want. Which, by the way, is serve people. You see what I mean? Like these kinds of questions, I vibrantly had to go after it. And when I say vibrantly, you better be putting emotions in there. How you want to feel. What it shows up for there for you. Next, define your goals and process. This is where we get a little intellectual. So I'm going to give you a major distinction. Are you ready for it? Here's the shift of, I believe, why I was able to scale this, or grow this as fast as we were able to. I set the goal. I built the process. I forgot the goal. I focused and worked on the process. So let me help you with this. This is a very high level way of approaching lifestyle design and approaching goal achievement. You set a goal, and my goal, I showed it to you, 50, 100, 200 of each of those tiers, right? But then I built the process. Who do I have to be on a day-to-day basis? What do I have to say? What do I have to provide? What do I have to let people know of? What do I have to do to stir the pot as I teach? To help people understand their struggle and that I can help them and help them co-create that ambition and then show them that the stairs, the ladder to get there, I can get them there faster than they would on their own. Did you follow? I forgot the goal. Not that I don't check in with it, I do. But I forget about the goal because so many people that I've known over the years, 30 years of this, they set a goal and then they temper themselves to the goal. Meaning, oh, I'm almost to 50, I better slow down. No, you just go and create, build, and maintain exceptional relationships. And you have your process to do that. And you focus and work it. That's why I believe wholeheartedly that we've been able to crush this. Because we're on it. I keep checking in on the goal and I'm like, what the holy moly? I showed you the numbers today. How did that happen? We're not even a year yet. You follow? So the rest of our steps are working through the process. So with that, our journey so far, and I'll be doing this is a big part of adult learning theory. If you're teaching content, always make sure to recap what you just told them, is to know your numbers and your dream lifestyle. So with that, that marks the end of step 1. So I'd love to know, comment below, what showed up for you? What questions do you have? What are like, oh my gosh, how could I even, or I'm on it, but what can I do to tune, tweak, whatever that would be for you. If you need to, grab a water, take a break, breathe it out. We're gonna do a little transitional shift here because I wanna make sure we're letting this integrate. And you have time to let that absorb. So shake it out. If you're standing or sitting, stand up, shake it out a little bit. Let's just take a breather here. I'm throwing a lot at you in a short amount of time, I get it, but I'm pushing you, and I told you I would, right? All right, you ready for part 2? Okay, here we go. Part 2 is brainstorm the big ambition. Here's what we know. There's 2 narratives of human life, struggle and progress. They perpetuate the human story. From the man, Brendan Bouchard, Motivation Manifesto, right? So I had the honor, as so many of you know, being one of his certified high performance coaches, the original graduating class back in March or May or whenever that was, 2013. Have been a certified high performance coach now over 3,300 sessions, somewhere in there. I think it's quite a bit over that, but have been really blessed to be able to serve in that way, have changed hundreds of people's lives in that regard. Also, was in the mastermind with him, had a lot of fun. This was in Scottsdale last May when he dropped that bomb on us. What's that one offer? Then having wine in Portland, that was last November, and then really just seeing, this was a beautiful picture taken just before he sold the original studio where he did most of his work that I saw him in. Total Product Blueprints, original videos, Experts Academy. There was a condo in Portland, Oregon, up, I want to say it was like 8 stories, or 11 stories up, and I got to tour that place and feel the magic of what it was. It was so cool. So Brendan's been a huge inspiration for not only me, but so many of us, about ambition-based training, ambition-based marketing, ambition-based sales. So what we have to do first is we have to brainstorm the big ambition. Now remember, I shared with you my purpose statement, but I want to pay particular attention to one part of the statement, right? So let's kind of dive deep on that. That one part is this piece, the do part, to improve people's lives by helping them from where they're at to where they want to be. So let's kind of zoom in on that. Remember, there's a star on B, right? I'd say 99.999% of people do not dream big enough. They do not know where they want to be. That's ambition. We got to help them fuel the ambition. So when I introduce myself today, I don't say, hey, I'm Charlie, founder of Life and Business Success Group. Instead, I say, hey, you know what? I'm Charly Caldwell II, and I help people improve their lives from where they're at to where they want to be. And guess what? I'm blessed to do it 3 ways. I do it in life, in business, and online. Now, my job, if I say that with full congruence, full purpose, is to make sure I understand each of those realms where people struggle, and each of those realms where they should aspire to, what the ambition should be, right? So I taught this in a bonus. Oops, I slide a little early. I'm giving you another bonus. But I taught this just last Saturday in our Creating Ambition-Based Curriculum. These 7 steps that take somebody from their struggle to a dream ambition. You follow me so far? Our job is to create something so ambitious. The way I've manifested that is in the form of assessments. The life assessment, the business assessment, and the internet assessment. Those are all below in the live cast, and they'll be in the replays as well for you, so you can see that. If you get 10s in all of those areas, I don't have to help you with anything. Nobody has ever filled that out and had all 10s yet, out of the gate, not even close. And it's crazy, but that shows you the ambitions, and it's worded very, very specifically, deliberately, towards those ends. So as I kind of let slide, I got a surprise bonus for you. I'll be putting this in, that training, the Creating Ambition-Based Curriculum and Marketing, here in the replays, in this course that will be a course, Building a Monthly Membership Program, the 7 critical steps. And I want to make sure you're taken care of. So if you like the bonus, shout out below. Thanks for the bonus, Charlie. Because I want to make sure you understand what it takes to go after that big ambition, to create it, but to reverse engineer it and make sure that you can say stuff like I do in person that's completely congruent with that bigger ambition. And by no means do you need 3 of them. I'm going after big, big ambitions. Now you probably know the overarch for my ambitions. My big ambition for you is to truly live into the 5 Ps. Right? So let me break it down for you a little differently. The first ambition is to live purposefully. That's an arc of high performance. High performance, by session 11, we've really helped you think about, articulate, and define your purpose statement. That's what I shared with you in that picture with my Oak Hill shirt on, that we just worked through the do part of it, right? That came from high performance. To live passionately, but to live passionately, we got to be clear about what we're passionate about. We got to be energized. We got to be courageous. We got to be productive towards those ends, right? That's all high performance topics, right? It's like boom, 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 boom. So you see how the big ambition that I'm putting out here in these 5 Ps are back reverse engineered in the ways I serve. To live positively. What's the saying in high performance? Bring the what? Bring the joy. To live a life of full connection, joy, and confidence. That is high performance living. So that's a high performance theme. To live productively. That's covered twice in our core sessions. Session 5 and session 9, right? That's a huge part. And it isn't about getting more done. That's the whole premise of today's training. This training for you is it's about getting the right things done, going after your life's ambition. And of course, to live profitably. That's the part where I make the glue happen. Where I take these things, and we've covered the big chunk of that in step 1, to really help you see how that can be real for you. And most importantly, and you'll see this show up today, is for me to be there to guide you. To be the mentor that Ed was for me. To be the mentor that my grandparents were for me. For you. You follow? To truly care for you. To care for your future. To care for the people you love. You're blessed to serve. That we're really working towards those ends. And we're putting a message in the world that fully resonates. And we don't know what that is right away. We'll talk about that. You follow? So your job is to create the big ambition. And how do you do that? It's just to think through, what are the themes that you want people to live towards, right? I have 5 Ps. Yours could be 2 things. Yours could be 1 big thing. Whatever that is in line of what you do. And you better be saying those again and again and again. You hear me say them a lot, right? Especially our mastery community members like, yeah, you say it probably too much. No, I don't. I'll keep saying it. But I'm going to bring the love, care, compassion when I do. You follow? So your big challenges with step 2 is, first, define your ambition. Now that comes to me, the big ambition comes to me from the do statement. To help people from where they're at to where they want to be, recognizing they probably don't dream big enough. So my job is to get in there and bring emotion, vibrance, love of what's possible, to build a bigger ambition. And I do it in 3 ways: in life, in business, and online. And then I better have something that assesses where they're at in each of those areas. And your challenge is not to come up with 3 like I have. I consider myself on maybe a little more ambitious track to serve. Maybe just 1. So in the way that manifests in my world, that's an assessment. But that assessment, as I've taught in those bonuses you're getting, the membership retention bonus and the ambition-based bonus, those things can be taught ultra deep. Each of those points, those 7 points, can be taught ultra deep. You follow? So we'll talk about that in a little bit too. Next is to develop your theme. The way it manifests itself in the words that I say is, I want you to live purposefully, passionately, positively, productively, and profitably. I'm going to back that up. I'm going to help you. I'm going to take care of you, make you realize, wait, same thing Ed did to me. Dude, you got to think bigger. You got to think differently. Got to realize you don't know what you don't know. You follow? Pretty cool, huh? And then finally, you see if it resonates. We're going to talk a lot about that as we get into our next couple steps. We think we know the answer. We do not. It's about others. We'll talk about that a little bit. But your job is to test it. Your job is, if you're a speaker, is to put it out there and be like, watch the eyes when you deliver. Hey, do you all want to live purposefully? If people are like, okay, I need to reword that. Do y'all want to live passionately? When I've tested that from stage, people are like, yes, 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 yes. Oh yeah. They're in it. They feel it. They're all about it. You follow? Just had to make sure we're recording. Although we have the YouTube live cast recording. So, our journey at this point, we've covered 2 in about 45 minutes. First, know your numbers and your dream lifestyle. How you doing there? That helpful? Next, we start to form the process. Brainstorm the big ambition. My challenge for you is to think, with where people are struggling, here's what's possible. And you may not know the answers. We're going to cover how you can get there in a little bit. But then you're going to break the steps down to get there in your way. And that's coming up. So that being said, now it's really important, if you're sitting, stand up. Let's take a little breather here. Shift our energy a little bit. We're going to be covering a lot. We got a lot of time for us together today, 2.5 hours, and we're going to take a little bit of a break, and I'll be right in Q&A. So I'm doing this for me and for you in order to really integrate this. So by lesson 7, you're not like, dude, shut up. We're owning this for you. So take a little breather, grab some water, move your body, take some deep breaths. Let's own this. I'm going to check in on the comments, see if we got any comments at this point. If you've been participating, I'm watching. Oh yeah. We got tons of comments. Excellent. I'm so happy for you. Let me make sure we got the live cast on. Okay, we do. So, are you ready for number 3? You ready to rock this? Number 3 is, boom! I had to create my perspective keepers. So the easy answer for that, if you're like, what the heck is a perspective keeper, are those beautiful assessments. So let's kind of break this down for you to make sure you understand how this kind of plays out and works. Cool? You excited? I hope you are, because this is gold. We're getting into the meat, the good stuff. And it's already been meaty and good, right? So here we go. Perspective keeping equals recurring revenue. That's one of my phrases, my themes. I use my own theme in here. The second theme is recurring revenue equals personal freedom. I hope when we started this journey together today, you saw how that played out. I made a shift after talking with Ed in 1994, that put the pedal down and doubled down on subscription revenue in 95. We laid the foundation around that for the internet service provider business. We worked the process to grow that, take care of, and be the best we could be in that realm. We were known for being the top level support because we understood computers and we also understood people. And we were able to really help people and do a real good job with it. By the year 2000, October of 2000, we had 10,000 subscribers. A big company came and bought us. Boom, we're hit the road in a motorhome. We retired. I was 29, my ex-wife was 31. Hit the road in a motorhome, had our 2 dogs in there, rocking down I-75, driving to Kentucky, where we saw that first post, living that dream. That was 5 years and 3 months. You can live the dream sooner than that if you follow the process and you develop and work your process. Cool? I want to make sure we're hitting that out of the park for you. So, your perspective keeper represents the path to reach. Remember that picture I showed you where there was the star up here and there was a line and then there was the frowny, maybe neutral face, and there were steps? So it's the path to reach and maintain the ambition. So the easiest way I can put it for you is if you grab the life assessment, you look at it, it tells you how to grab or to go after, to the path to follow, to reach an ambition, to live a life where you're going after your life's ambitions, where you're communicating well with those you love, care for, and serve. And you rate yourself. It's self-assessing, right? And clearly lets you know how your people are doing and where help is needed. Like so often, my conversation, let me just kind of walk you through an illustration that will really help you. When I say to people, at High Performance Academy is a great example. If you ever go to Brendan Burchard's event, we go in groups, we introduce ourselves. I'll say to people, hey, I'm Charly Caldwell, and you'll see here I'm a certified high performance coach, but I help people from where they're at to where they want to be. I do it 3 ways, in life, in business, and online. Guess what I discovered? Most people don't think big enough. You guys think big enough? And if they say anything like, yeah, my business, I'm trying to develop this, I need help. Immediately I can say, I've got an assessment for you that'll help me understand exactly where you're at. Would you be interested in taking it? It takes about 3 minutes. I could even have it in my backpack. Mine are set up in Kajabi, so when I send that to them via Facebook Messenger, via email, via text, boom, they get into it, they fill it out, and they're in my email list. But you see, and I want you to capture this because this is everything for what we're talking about today. When we work the process is being right in their stuff immediately if they'll let us. You follow? Really, really important. But we also, on the other end, we have to have something that tells us without question, if they're honest, of course, where they're at and where they need to be to serve the most. Like, for example, if you go through the life assessment and you hit the last one on life's ambitions and you're at a 1, but everything else is 3 or above, boom, we got to work on your life's ambitions because that's the fuel for what's above. You follow? So I teach you in that creating ambition-based curriculum and marketing, which was this month's monthly mastery training in business. I teach you what it is to think that out and how you want to sort of describe it. So you get that bonus. You're welcome. Rocking it. But this is the piece. To improve people's lives by helping them from where they're at to where they want to be. Star. In life, in business, and online. The way it manifests in the real world is I have the life assessment. This is a screen capture from the Kajabi page. Find out how to feel more energy, focus, and joy in less than 3 minutes. You'll quickly rate yourself in 7 key areas. Those 7 key areas are struggle to ambition, those steps. You follow? Click here to get your assessment. Reduce stress and overwhelm, creating clarity, more focus, energy, and joy. Let's rock. Then below there's some benefits. Next, the business. You'll notice it's in green. I am running a profitable business I am proud of. You feel below a 10? Get your assessment to find out how to run a profitable business that you're proud of. That was, as I tested that, we'll teach that in a minute for you, as I tested that with people, that was the arc. That I'm happy with a profitable business. Like, that's the arc. Like if I say to somebody that said, you know, I'm really struggling with my business, do you have a profitable business you're proud of? Like those 2 P's are tells in their journey. And then my ambition is for them to have a profitable business they're proud of. Boy, can I help. You follow? I hope you feel how each of these are their own segment. Each of these represent their own ambition. Each of these, though, tie to the bigger theme of my big ambition, to help you live purposefully, passionately, positively, productively, and profitably too. Then finally, the online. Being in the internet business since 1989, back before the World Wide Web, we were using the internet to move email on our bulletin board system. If you don't understand what I just said, that was what was going on in the day. Telnet, Gopher, FTP, all these things were happening, IRC, we were all in that, helping people in that way. So there's 30 years, 20 years, whatever it is, the math, that this is what I've learned when it comes to the World Wide Web. I can connect actual sales in my business to my online presence. That's the highest ambition that people should be aware of. But so many people that I've met with, literally thousands of them and trained over the years, are connected to awareness online. And what that means is, I just want to see my pretty face up there. I want to know people see me. But when you get to the bottom of it for business, they need to connect actual sales to their online presence. You follow? So I push them on this. Some of you are like, well, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm like, so you have a website and you realize people are making a lot of money online, and I'm an example, but you don't know your actual sales from your online presence? With the tools like Google Analytics and call tracking and everything available today? You're okay with that? Well, yeah, it's probably a 1 or a 0. I've had that happen. But you're okay with that. If they're okay with that, they're not my customer. If they're not, we got work to do. But this assesses them, not only on that, but some of the principal teachings that I've done over the years that have resonated. Do you know the learners, the shoppers, the buyers? You follow? Inside this little 3-minute assessment is the big ambition, but it is also the steps you need to consider to get masterful in those areas. So if you don't have those assessments right below the training, you'll see the boxes. If you're watching the replay, I'm going to put them in there for you. You'll see them in Kajabi's program. Make sure you look those over. I know a lot of you, I've been working with a lot of you in our mastery community, are building your assessments. Wendy, Laura, Sabina, who else? A couple others. And this is the piece. So here's what I want you to be aware of at this point. Ultimately, and we're going to talk growth versus scale a little bit, each of these will work themselves through a funnel that ultimately sells or has you apply to the business, life and business mastery community. Right now, it does not. So I'm going to talk about this in a little bit. I'm going to touch on it right now. I did not have, to get to 175K, I do not have active monetized funnels in play. And I'll be talking more about that. I want you to plant that seed right now and understand that. People are like, I got to have my funnels, I got to do social. No, you got to have an offer and you got to have this. And we'll break that down for you. Like, so many people are struggling, they're spending, I kind of am upset with some of the things in the industry that are happening. They're spending time on the wrong things when they should be building relationships and going after offers if they need the money. You follow? We're going to challenge you on that. I just want to sort of preset that stage. So each of these assessments have 7 steps. And it goes back to the training that I'm giving you as a surprise bonus, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, to go from, I don't know what, I've struggled, but I don't have any idea what it could be, to a happy face where you're fully realized. You've come into full realization of what the ambition could be. So I really want you to plant this and think about this for you. What are your 7 steps that encompass the big moves that really help people go from non-mastery to masterful, that can be a self-diagnostic, that can be an assessment, that can be a way for them to rate? And that's what we do in our monthly trainings every month. We start every month assessing you where you're at. My goal is for you to print 12 sheets, put them in a ring binder. So you got your health, wealth, and happiness, you got your business and internet mastery, you print those 12 sheets, or your business mastery. You print those 12 sheets, and you have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and you're seeing some form of growth. There'll be dips as you move through the summer. When it comes to relationships on our business assessment, people are like, I'm on vacation to create relationships I'm creating with my family. My business is taking a little bit of a hit. Cool, that's fine. But the highest performers, when they come back from vacation, that's not job 1. You follow? That's the shift. Your job is to develop your 7. If you need help or an example, we've already got that sorted for you. Get the assessments. Look at how I approach that. Watch the bonus training because I break down how we start big picture and drill to tactics over those 7 steps. That's adult learning theory put into play, accelerated expertise, and it's the way people absorb information best. It's kind of how today's training's put. And by the way, guys, I'm living into the motto we teach. in here, it's not on this screen, TSTC. You're seeing themes with every step. You're seeing a story and an overarching story we told at the beginning. You're seeing the training and you're getting challenged. Is that too much? So, your perspective keepers, let's break it down. Continually stir the pot. What does it mean to stir the pot? You'll see this in the training, the bonus training. It means that you're constantly stirring the pot of struggle. Are you struggling with these things? Are you struggling with these things? And you're stirring the pot of ambition. And inside those two, you're like, I got you. These are the things. Do you want to stop stirring? Whew. Here's how that works. You're bridging the gap. You follow? I hope this is landing for you. The highest paid marketers, Frank Kern, Brendan Bouchard, Jeff Walker, Andy Jenkins, they do a tremendously amazing job in their value and offer videos of stirring the pot. They will sit there and talk at length in emotional, vibrant language about what you're struggling with, and they'll show you pictures, and then they'll show you what's possible, and then they'll show you pictures of what you're struggling with, and they'll show you what's possible. It's exactly what I teach in the Ultimate Offer Outline in our Behind the Scenes Business Builder bonus course, is that you've got to arc that to stir the pot before anybody's going to do anything. Then you tell them what you got. Then you bridge the gap. And I teach that too in the ambition-based training you guys have access to as well. Taking care of you. Next up, set the foundation for your monthly training. So when you think about how that perspective keeper can be the foundation for monthly training, it gets real simple. Let me make it as simple as possible for you. If you got your notes out, take this note down. You simply have to show them how to level one of those areas in your perspective keeper up per month. And you'll notice in my perspective keepers, there's 3 statements in most, well, not most, half of the statements. I aim to level one of those statements up every month with some training. Does that make sense? Like, what was last month? Relationships. So the other bonus you have access to is customer retention and membership retention is all about current and existing relationships, like really helping them grow through unconditional love and letting them know over and over again you've got them, which I hope you feel for me, right? So these perspective keepers become unlimited training. And if you think, oh, there's only a limit to how many things you get, it's unlimited. I'll show you that very shortly. You excited? So far, are we doing well here? Are we hitting it for you? Next up is to help your beautiful members see progress. The biggest thing that's been shown, and this is inside Jane McGonigal's book, Super Better. If you're in Kajabi, if you have that program, you'll see it in there too, is having achievements. When they reach certain levels, they level up. And there's a way to mark that. So the assessment automatically does that. Linda, beautiful, amazing gal in our mastery community, Linda Fitzgerald, calling you out, she shared with me that she bumped her numbers up. And I don't know if it's okay for me to share what your numbers are, not the specifics, but the overarch. If you want to share it in the comments, if you're on, do it. But she's like, Char, I went from this to this. Woohoo! So she's seeing achievement and progress by the way she's assessing through the perspective keeper. Does that all make sense? If this is over your head, it's just a matter of having 7 steps that really take them from where they're at to what's really possible in the realm of what you do. And you got to make them simple and easy to understand, and it took me a while to get that. I'll talk a little bit more of that in just a little bit. But that's the shift. That's why those assessments are so incredibly powerful. It's not just like an assessment, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, this is life-changing, and I take it seriously. You follow? I hope this is landing for you. This is everything about that way to bust those myths like, I don't know what to create in a mastery community. I don't know what to do. Our job in a mastery community, even in a mastermind, is to help them with new perspective, give them new teachings, new trainings, and keep them accountable, assessments, and also let them see achievement, as well as connect with others and grow together. You follow? Cool. Rocking it. Okay, your 3 big challenges with this lesson. Define your perspective keepers. Think through your 5, 7, or 10 big moves. And a big move is that cluster of a statement. If you look at my life assessment, you'll see the first thing now is the title of number 1. That's a big move. There's a lot loaded in number 1. I am where I thought I'd be at this point in my life. Then we dive deep on you're the best version of yourself, da 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 da, right? That's heavy duty. That's one big move. That particular statement, I've told our mastery community, I can train on that for a day. Easy peasy. We go into all kinds of work we do in high performance and really own it. Next is develop your theme. So again, we're going back to that idea. What is your theme? That 5 P's theme for me. Inside the life work, it's to live a life that's purposeful, passionate, positive, productive, and profitable. Business really pounds on the profit piece. Online helps with all that. And then finally, battle test it. Here's the thing. I sat down with 23 people in person with all of my assessments that could relate to all 3 of the areas. And I watched their faces. I went through it all. And quite a few of them are actually in our mastery community. So if you were one of them, you want to shout out, let me know. I went through them with people on Zoom. We walk through them together. But I'm watching. I'm watching for like confusion, like, I don't get it. And changing, I had to change the words. But it was through that I was able to get that together. And they were part of it. You follow? So I want to make sure you hit that. Think through your 5, 7, or 10 big moves. And I really want to challenge you that these are moves that you could teach on their own for a half a day or a day training, or in a 2-hour training course, like a 2-hour per move module. Because that's what I'm going to be filming the last part of this year, is the mastery course for each of those assessments. Now that they've been out for a year, I've got tons of illustration and feedback. Now it's time for me to film a master's course, where each one of those moves is a week module, 7-week course, right? And that goes ultra deep, about 60, 90, even 120 minutes per move. You follow? That'll be priced heavy duty. Develop your theme, battle test it. I cannot pounce on that enough, but we're going to be talking about that in just a little bit. So we'll be forwarding that. So with that being said, here's where we're at in our journey. We've gone through know your numbers, your dream lifestyle. We've brainstormed the big ambition. Now we've created perspective keepers that live into the big ambition. So we're about an hour in, we got about an hour and a half. You know what time it is? It's time to relax. Bring oxygen in, deep breathe, stretch it out, have some water. Take a bathroom break if you got to. Oh, I hope you're enjoying this. I gotta go over and see these comments. I'm loving it. Let's see what we got here. Whoa! Oh, thanks, Linda. Oh, so great to see y'all. Wow, we're getting tons of comments. So here we go. And let me make sure I have my Wirecast so I can see over here on the production screen if I'm able to be visible and my sound is working, all this stuff. So great being a one-man show. Love doing this for you. Love being here with you. You ready for number 4? All right. Let's bring it together. Here we go. Number 4. It's not about me. It's all about them. Boy, you might have heard that before. But it wasn't until I really got that, and I hope each of you that are in the master community feel it. That was the pivotal shift. So that's the major point. 2 high performance principles that support it. People support what they create and listen, 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 then respond. This is premise of active listening. Not listening to reply, but listening to hear what's being said. The nuance of voice. Something you get masterful at when you've coached, like Janie and I have coached, I don't know how many sessions Janie's coached, but I know she's on it, of high performance. Like when you get to the hundreds of sessions, you better be masterful in active listening and listening for nuance in voice. Like people can say, well, yeah, but that's not really important to me. That could be about their relationship with their wife. That's not really important. Whoa, 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 wait a minute. Why is that not important to you? Well, and that may be the breakthrough for them, right? So I listen, listen, listen. It's about them. My good friend Sebastian Bach, lead singer of Skid Row back in the 90s, he's on his own now. He's got 3 or 4 albums out. It's amazing. He always told me, like, when they make a song, you may remember Sebastian in Skid Row for I Remember You, 18 in Life, Youth Gone Wild. He goes, Charly, it's the weirdest thing. When you make a song, you think it's gold. Man, this is amazing. That song is, wow, we got energy and everything. Then you put it out, But it's up to them to decide, the fans to decide whether it's a hit. Of course, there's the music industry involved in there a little bit. But you get what I mean? Like, we don't know. We think we know, but we don't know. So that's the reason why, going back to our last lesson, the battle test is everything. It's because we think this makes sense to us, it should make sense to everybody. It doesn't. That's why I had to change a lot of the words, specific couple of words in my business assessment and a little bit in my online assessment. The life one was pretty solid, but that was because I was battle testing it, watching people before I put it into production. You follow? So, with that being said, my job every month is simple, is to have very, very powerful themes. And Janie, you had asked a question in the chat log here about themes. What are themes? So themes are quotes, teachable points, like the quotes that represent a teachable point, like recurring revenue equals personal freedom is a theme, like people support what they create is a theme, like the 5 Ps is a big theme that represents an ambition. So I hope this is kind of connecting. So my job every month is to have a theme. Last training that we did, our theme was creating ambition-based curriculum and marketing. The theme was ambition-based curriculum, creating ambition, if you want to think of it, the big theme. Next, every month, my job is to support that theme with compassionate stories. What's the definition of compassion? Recognizing somebody's struggle and having a desire to alleviate it, which is really struggle, ambition. It doesn't say in the definition of compassion, that's one of the definitions I looked up. It doesn't say recognize somebody's struggle and have a desire to alleviate it. It doesn't say to have a desire to alleviate it towards a better, like, ambition. But that's the essence of it, right? I want to pull you out of the struggle, but as a high performer, we also want to lift them up to a better ambition. So if I'm watching your monthly training, I better see powerful themes. I better see compassionate stories where you're demonstrating and articulating struggle and you're going after ambition. And you're teaching me how to bridge that gap. So 3 to 7 teachable points that say, here's the very clear struggle, here's the very clear ambition, here's 3 ways, 3 ideas, 3 secrets, 5 secrets, 7 secrets. 3s, 5, and 7 seem to work out great in an hour. You just need to taper based on how deep you can go with each of those teachable points, right? And you're teaching people, okay, if you're struggling with this, so let's go back to last training, that's your surprise bonus today. If you're teaching somebody how to create ambition-based marketing, curriculum, and so on, there's step 1, step 2, step 3, and we went over these 3 steps. And then we had the emotional guidance scale that helped us articulate things, both from the ambition, the upward spiral, and the downward spiral. Fear, grief, all those kinds of words, and you're calling that out. But then you're saying, here's how you can transition faster with my help. You follow? So these are the elements of what you'll see in our monthly trainings. These are the things that I had to work towards, doing a lot of research, training, talking with Brendan, our master coach, about what it is about adult learning theory, about accelerated expertise, and about really engaging an audience. If we don't have stories and themes to teach, it doesn't land as well. You've got to fire up emotion to get to the teachable piece so they have a connection to it. The very reason why I started today's dialogue with Ed and my story and then getting to be able to drive my truck, the motorhome, was why? So that she saw this isn't a one-time hit for me going after a monthly membership program. This is something that I did in 90s to 2000. I've done it with my other business, ISG. And we're doing it now with this particular revenue stream. So there's that layer of expertise, but also that layer of engagement and story of why it's important to celebrate our mentors, to follow the right people, to take action on what we're going after. You follow? Awesome! Next, give tactics to put in play now. I want to thank Brendan for that because it was that piece. The way it's arced, if you ever go to High Performance Academy or you've been there, you know this, is he'll say somewhere along the lines, he used this a few times, when you leave these doors on Sunday, I want you to have the one thing that you're going to do, that difference, that when you leave as a different person, you're going in the world and you have your marching orders, your manifesto. If you got more than one, great. But give them tactics to do. It's simple tactics. Like to have more connection in life. We're going to have that conversation tonight. HP group coaching tonight at 8 o'clock, diving deep on charged connection, is to make that phone call when you take the break to somebody who needs to hear from you. I know it was a challenge maybe in 2013 or 14 at High Performance Academy. Brendan's like, take that break right now. Who is it needs to hear from you? Call them. Show them love. Bring engagement. Oh, just telling you that gave me chills because I called my dad. Very, very powerful. You see what I'm saying? That one tactic. The best trainers, they live into this and they nail the tactics. The very best trainers are coaches usually because they do this. They challenge. Remember, if you've been through high performance coaching, you know in session 6 we teach the highest level influencers, teach people how to think about themselves, about others, and the world. They role model. I always like to go back to those expert positioning R's. They're the researcher, reporter. They're the role model. They're the results expert. They're demonstrating that. But most importantly, they challenge others. They challenge your connection. They challenge your character. They challenge your contribution. You follow? So this is a big part to what you should be having in every month. If Patrick's in the house, checklist. Think of this. If you shared with me one of your trainings in a month, and you said, Charlie, give it to me, I would have this as checklists. Like, I would have a checklist, would have check boxes in front of each of these, and I would rate you on it. So it'd be a checkbox that you did it, and then how well you did it. And if you do not have that in play for yourself and you're considering a monthly membership program, that is your job. Now you're like, oh my God, I don't know stories. You teach themes, you develop stories. My challenge for me now at this point in my career is that I just come up with stories. I've thought them through. I can pull one out of my hat like that. That came, by the way, from hundreds of hours of coaching. I remember in the first 500 hours of coaching that I wasn't able to do that. I literally had in my notes, make sure you touch on this story, make sure you touch on that story. But then I just started like saying, what would it look like if I could just command something from the ether? And I did, and I do. So that's why I challenge me and I challenge you to do your training as live casts, because boy, does that push the pressure on you. Double down, go after it. Don't have too many notes. I'm working from this. There's a lot here, more than usual for me, but I'm working it. I'm working this through with you. Hopefully I'm living into this. That's the way I arc this particular incredible training series. I hope you feel it's incredible. Good stuff. So with that being said, you want to do all those things while demonstrating unconditional love, bringing the joy, being a great listener, and continually being present, caring, and compassionate. I hope with what we've been doing so far today, we're an hour and 15 minutes in, that you've seen every one of these from me. Just telling you that gives me a buzz. I don't want to tell you this, but I will because I'm open and vulnerable. I did a live cast about Ed before we started our a Facebook Live about Ed before we started our training today. And as soon as I got done with that, I walked out of the studio, started bawling. I was like, I got to live into this. This is going to be a heavy day for me. I got to be here for you. I got to show unconditional love. That's not a problem for me because it's in me. It's my grandparents. It's the role modeling. It's just bringing that to the forefront. I got to bring the joy. I got to be a great listener. Trust me, I want to be over there watching the comments because that's the way I can hear you right now. You'll see me be hopefully a really great listener in our Zoom roundtable. I got to continually be present, caring, compassionate. It's because of these things where I'm, and this is kind of advanced, the way the psychology works, but I'm hearing you objecting to the points I'm making as I'm saying them. Like picturing some of you saying like, wait a minute, I don't get that. And Janie did post one about the theme, right? But you see how that works? So if you're building your checklist for what you got to do every month, let's back it up. You got to go themes, solid themes that really move the needle, supported by compassionate stories, 3 to 7 teachable points, bridging the gap from what we would call the struggle part of compassion to the ambitious piece of what's possible. and you're walking them through. It doesn't have to be all encompassing. It can just touch some needle movers, as we would say. You got to give tactics for them to put in play. That's why on the board, you'll see up until this month, we had perspective. In the middle, we had training, and at the end, we had tactics. Now I've moved perspective to the big screen because I like the way that feels when I read it to you and you can see the statements as we do the perspective part at the beginning of our sessions. You got to challenge them, their character, their contribution, their character contribution, whatever the third one is. I said it earlier. All while demonstrating unconditional love, bringing the joy, being a great listener, continually being present, caring, and compassionate. Trust me, it takes practice to get into that. I will gladly show you some of my videos from 2010. Same room, different dude. A, I was about 30 pounds heavier, and B, I was like, hi guys, it's Charlie here, and I'm gonna help you with internet stuff. I look at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, light the fire. Get some fire in your pants. It was funny because I wasn't like that in person, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like this when you meet me. As Brendan always says, I'm just as goofy, I'm just in your face, I'm respective. You know, when he says that about himself, he's like, I'm just goofier when you know me. But that's the part, it's that congruence and authenticity. So this becomes your checklist. So how I develop content each month. The biggest question people have, I'm gonna run out of content. I'm gonna run out of ideas for themes, stories, teachable points, and tactics, and challenges, and then I'm gonna feel you're gonna see me freak out when I'm on camera. I don't know what to teach you. No, here's the way it works. Check-in calls. Karen, if you're in the house, I hope you don't mind me sharing this again. This was yesterday's check-in call. We're being silly, having fun, rocking it out. But I was really listening to what Karen's struggles are right now. And we're really working on specific things that help her. And she's also fueling what we're gonna teach in August. So you know, every quarter I go through and you have the option to have a check-in call with me. If you're in the mastery community, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. And we go through and I record the call for you, so it's recording. And I give that to you. And if we do any work on the whiteboard, you get that too. But I'm listening to where the struggles are right now. And what I'm looking for is a correlation. I'm looking to see if more than one person's struggling with it. Laura and a few others had said, dude, you gotta go deeper on ambition-based training, TSTC. Gotta learn more about that. So that's what last month's training was. You follow? So your job is about them and their journey. And I really want you to see that. You also go through comments and email. That's what informs when you ask Brendan Burchard, like when he does his trainings, he is pouring through, he's a data freak. He's pouring through the comments and the emails. What are the people questioning? And he's answering the questions as well in the training, right? So let me break it down for you. Patrick, I hope you appreciate this one. This is a nice spreadsheet without lines. So here's how I approach content creation in month 1, month 3, month 6, and month 12. And we just hit month 12, the 12th month of training was July. Yes, let's celebrate that. If you were all here, we would go to the Continental down in Naples. You know what's down there? Chad, Barry, Nas. Beautiful drinks, eats, amazing scenery. We'd celebrate. If you want to do that, pop on the next flight to Fort Myers. Let's do it. Let's rock it. But here's the reality of how this kind of laid out. In month 1, it was 90% me that came up with the content, 10% community. How? I was doing those battle tests of the assessments, and I heard the one thing come up. It's people were like 1, 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 1. Like they were low rate. They said, tell me where to start. So my challenge for you, if you're gonna start your program, and you'll see it in mine, is you do a starting from scratch. And you'll see in the starting from scratch on health, wealth, and happiness, I'm going over the 7 areas, that's the assessment, and the 10 needle movers, that's the wheel of perspective, in depth. Does that help? Does that answer that for you? I know a lot of you had that question. What do I teach? What do I start with? Why not start from scratch? If you don't know what to start from scratch with, reach out to people that are the people you want to serve. And I can tell you they're probably the people that took your assessment. Hint, hint. In month 3, it was 50% me, 50% community. We're getting that momentum going. I'm getting those check-in calls. By then, month 3, I was just starting to think about check-in calls. I wasn't doing them. But those check-in calls are gold. And if you don't want to offer check-in calls, just randomly call some of your people and be like, hey, you know what? Going into next month, what are you struggling with right now? Would love to know. And I got a couple minutes. Let's talk about where you're at. Is there anything I can help you with? Cool? Month 6, 5% me, 95% mastery community. I literally do not come up with, I carry these index cards around like this guy on the back, and I will draw up the whiteboard on this, and I redraw that literally the day and morning of. But I don't start that until the Wednesday before training, because I will reach out to half a dozen if I haven't done check-in calls recently, to see what people are struggling with. I'll read the comments, I'll ask, and that informs the content. That's why Kimberly, I think, had said it, a couple others had as well. They said, dude, like, you were like totally reading our minds. I'm like, you guys are telling me what you need. And then I'm angling it into the bigger ambition. You follow? Is this too much? I hope this is landing for you. This is incredible stuff. You're probably wondering how last month went. You probably can guess. How does that chart roll out? Last month was 0% me, 100% mastery community. You tell me. And what I heard was we need better ways to articulate struggle. We need better ways to articulate ambition. Because I was looking at a lot of the videos and the landing pages you guys are sending me. I'm like, there's nothing here other than here's what I got. There's no struggle, no ambition. And there's nothing about like you bridging the gap. It doesn't follow the ultimate offer outline. Like, not even close. The first 5 points of the ultimate offer outline are missed, and that's all about story creation. So that was what the ambition, and you guys get that as a bonus, that creating ambition-based training. If you're in the mastery community, you'll see it's already in July 2018's Business Monthly Mastery there for you too. Cool? So I hope this has busted a lot of questions and myths about how am I going to create content. Don't make it your struggle. Don't put it all on you. It's just incorporating what others do. So it's not about you, it's about them. Here's your 3 challenges. First, create your spreadsheet. Really get clear about the themes, the topics, those kind of things. The people that you're going to reach out to. The phrases they're saying. Like, oh, I need help with. There's one. I need help with. There's one. Call some people. What do you need help with in relation to what I do, the bigger ambition? Write those down. Look over the spreadsheet. If you don't like spreadsheets, put it in Word. Put it on a piece of paper. Look for the correlation. Next, test your perspective keepers. Make sure you put them in front of others and watch and listen, because that's where that starting from scratch came from. That's why there's a little bit there for the others. Like, starting from scratch is a great place to start, because people are like, I don't even know where to start. You know what I mean? And then third, ask what would help you the most right now? Because it's in that conversation that you can say, I'm starting this monthly membership community, monthly program, and I'm going to cover that for you in our very first Q&A. And I'll challenge you on that when we define our offer in a little bit. How does that sound for step 4? Wow, we're just on time and I love this. So our journey so far, as we do adult learning theory tells us, recap what we've learned. First, we know our numbers and our dream lifestyle. Now you're seeing how this is piecing together. You know your numbers and your dream lifestyle, and you set those goals. You forget those goals. Well, you set those goals, build the process, forget those goals, work the process. What's the process? First, brainstorm the big ambition. Second, in regard to the process piece, create your perspective keepers. That's going to be the core of your foundation for training and helping others. And how you can say at any event you go to, or any networking event, anything you go to, even at family gatherings, you can say, Charlie, I haven't talked to you in a while. I was at a family reunion a few weeks back, and they were like, so what do you do? And it's so easy. I help people in life and business and online, from where they're at to where they want to be. Most people don't dream big enough. You struggle in any of those areas? Boom, 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 boom. And if I sense that they want mastery there, some people don't. They're like, no, I'm not strong. Well, I do need to lose weight. But, you know what I mean? Then I don't push the assessment as a way to just see where they're at. But that's the idea. And it makes life so clear and simple, no matter where you're at. Even when I meet people, and we'll see it in a minute, on Facebook who watch one of my videos, I'm like, you struggling in any of the areas I covered? Or any of these? Boom. Take this assessment. Let me know your numbers, because I can direct you and help you. You follow? Next, it's it's not about you, it's about them. I hope we hit that out of the park for you. So as we often do, and we need to, it's time to stretch. It's time to ask questions. It's time to let me know what's showing up for you. let me get a drink and take a look at the comments. And we will start with number 5. Oh, wow, I love it all. Wahaha, rock. Karen, that's so great. Thanks, Jenny, for saying you're getting stellar with your summaries compared to earlier. Oh, hearts are smiling. I'm feeling you, Charlie. Thanks, Nathan. Kimberly. Oh, yeah. Linda Green, this is awesome. Loving it. Patrick, I've already taken about 10 immediate action steps. You're going to be like, okay, how do I sort out all my action steps and make those rock? All right, guys. Let me make sure I got my Wirecast up there, and I do, so we can see what's going on. So I really want to know, and you've been sharing so well. Thanks so much for the awesome comments. How are we doing here? Do you feel like this is something you can do? Do you feel like, okay, got clear marching orders. I know what I got to do. I really want to make sure as you get through this, and we'll have some other things, that distinctions for you at the end too, that help you dial this in. But my challenge for us, if you're really committed to creating your perspective keeper and your big theme, again, mine's the 5 Ps, purpose, passion, positivity, productivity, profitability, and those life assessment, business assessment, internet assessment. If you're really committed to those things, definitely let me know and share what you've created already. Because I want to make sure, and we're going to dial this in even more as we move along, that you're using best practices and you can really go deep. Because I can visualize you teaching in a course the things and how you might word it differently based on a lot of the feedback I've gotten. So share any of that with us. Do that, and if you're in our mastery community, do that in our private Facebook group so that we can really work that together. Because I'll say the feedback I've gotten and others might be able to bounce some feedback too. Cool? All right, number 5, here we go. Whoo, bringing the energy on this beautiful Wednesday. Rocking it. Here we go. Create my single offer. This was the massive, massive thing that I cannot get chills thinking about it. I've told him many, many times. Cannot thank Brendan Burchard enough for the challenge he had for us. I know some of you on the call or on this live cast were there in March of, or May of 2017, where he stood there and said, I want you guys to share your single offer, the thing you want to go after. Because we had to get up and share our offer and like the ways we're going to do it and then what we can do to help others. And then we got like people wrote out cards and gave them to us. It was an amazing experience, right? In the mastermind. But I cannot thank him enough for that, because I took that question and I added this to it. What's the one offer you could create that, whoops, let's do that again. What's the one offer you could create that, got an effect here, you could purposefully live into and promote for the rest of your life? Wow, that's a tall order. Holy shenanigans. What's the one offer you could create that you could purposefully live into and promote for the rest of your life? Boy, that demands ultimate clarity. Boy, that demands you know your purpose. You see how this all reverse engineering connects to the do statement of my purpose statement? To improve people's lives by helping them from where they're at to where they want to be, realizing people don't dream big enough. I got to be the guy, firing up ambition. Why not do it in some assessments that just sort it out for you right here? 3 minutes, I'll tell you. We've had conversations for hours around those assessments. I've even brought it up on my phone. I'm like, just rate yourself. Or I'll read it to you, and I'll read it to them, and we'll do that there. Whatever. Boom, done. But I really want you to think this through. What's the one offer? Now, what really, here, let's do this. If you're sitting down right now, take a deep breath, close your eyes. Really consider with everything you know right now in your life, all the journey that you've taken in regard to your path of mastery for the way you serve, the path that you've taken to learn how to monetize, to make money, helping others, but also to live purposefully. Really think about this. I'm going to read it in a way that's different. Cool? What's the one offer you could create that you could purposefully live into and promote for the rest of your life. Let's take a clip here. If you feel like sharing and you have an idea, do it. But take a clip here. If you have your notes out, just journal. What could that offer be? My dream for you is that it's somehow connected to recurring revenue and that it's leveraged. So you're working a few hours a month, serving the masses like we're doing. If that's not it for you, that's cool too. Whatever it is for you. We really need to spend some time with this. If there's one thing, one tactic from today's training that you go through, and then when you watch the replays, you'll get that fill in again. Like that's the reason I'm doing the replays and really helping you there, is because you're going to have to hear this, the audio of this, maybe this particular module, which by the way will be split out separately for you. I'm even doing transcripts for you on all of this so you can read it. See it, hear it, read it. Whatever it is, whatever your learning style is, I want that for you. But this is the one. This was the shift. I can say without a doubt, because I spent 3 months from May through August of last year journaling on how I saw myself, what I felt like 10 years from now, 20 years from now if I'm blessed to be here, how, thanks to our mastermind in November, this came later by the way, that I see my girls maybe taking this legacy and going on with it. If they want to, I'm not forcing on anybody. You know, if I happen to pass away, that all this training and everything leaves a legacy, much like Wayne Dyer's has, much like Zig Ziglar's has. Not that I'm even comparable to those powerhouses, but you see what I mean? Like the trainings, teaching and everything leave the legacy. So what's that one offer for you? If you don't know, that's cool too. Just put down, comment, participate. I don't know. I'm on the hunt. If you put that, that'd be hilarious. I don't know, I'm on the hunt for my offer. That'll help me understand what maybe next month's training needs to angle towards. How to define our offer. Boy, that's a good title. 3 things you need to know. 5 things, 7 things. I don't know what the number will be, but do you know what the framing is? Cool. So with that being said, my formula for success is totally different than what's trained, at least the way I've heard it from all these trainers online. And I want to break it down for you. A lot of you know it, but it goes like this. There's relationships plus your single offer equals transactions. You cannot move forward with your business without this. I'm going to argue you cannot move forward with your business without creating, building, and maintaining exceptional relationships. But you got to have the glue. You got to have an offer. That's the shift. I see a lot of people, I'm blogging and I don't know why I'm not doing well in business. I'm doing this and I don't know why I'm posting these posts. I'm like, where's your offer? Well, if they contact me, I got stuff for them. Where's your offer? Or, as I teach in the business mastery or the behind the scenes business course, where's your process that takes them into an application? You follow? Then take them to the offer. Whatever that is, we can talk about that in our Q&A. So let's talk relationships. There's a quote, this is something in Tribe of Mentors, this is something that's very popular online, it's been online for about 10 years. I don't know if you ever read it. It's called 1,000 True Fans. I'm only going to paraphrase it. If you need it, go into Google, Google it. 1,000 True Fans is the first item. What it says is to be a successful creator, you don't need millions. You don't need millions of dollars or millions of customers, millions of clients or millions of fans. To make a living, you only need thousands of true fans. And I'm going to dare say, he says 1,000 true fans, but I'm going to dare say you need less than that. So let's define what a true fan is. A true fan is a fan that will buy anything you produce. These diehard fans will drive 200 miles to see you sing. They'll buy the hardback and paperback and audible versions of your book. They'll purchase your next figurine sight unseen. They'll pay for the best of DVD version of your free YouTube channel. They'll come to your chef's table once a month. If you have roughly 1,000 of these, known as super fans, you can make a living. If you're content, make a living. And you, not a fortune, but we might be able to bust that myth too. You follow? So let's go back and review this. To create your single offer, here's the elements of my single offer. There's the founding member piece, $97 a month. There's the early bird, $197 a month. There's the general membership, $297 a month. It's all the same offer. But you have to realize when you have an offer, in order to get it to take, you have to have elements of scarcity and urgency in play. It's non-negotiable. That can be through bonuses, that can be through pricing tiers. My struggle and challenge, both, for me starting out was how do I get to that break even and demonstrate it? That's why I developed that model. You follow? So the idea is, out of 1,000 true fans, what do you really need? You need 50 people at $97 a month. And that equals, as we talked about earlier, $60K a year. We need 100 people at $197. So that's 150 total fans, relationships at $240, which these two numbers summed up is that dream, right? And then we need 200 more at $297 a month to reach that number, which ultimately adds up to $1 million a year in a monthly membership program. Now, if that seems totally unreachable to you, take out the bottom one. Really think about 150 people. Really think about if you own it, like we're doing, not to be braggadocious, but to be illustrative. If you're owning it like we're doing, people tell others about it. We've had a lot of referrals. We paid out over $1,500 in affiliate the last quarter that we paid, which was July 10th. Thanks to all the affiliates who are helping others see what we've got here. Really, really powerful. This is a big part of this. So the formula for success is we break it down and we look at the way the world works. We have relationships plus offers plus transactions. The world will tell you, and you'll see this in Facebook ads and in marketing, you need to go out and create 10,000 plus relationships. Just let people know you're there for them and take care of them. And you need to be campaigning different offers throughout the year. You need to have a launch on a course, and then you need to have a launch on another course, and then you need to launch your group coaching program, and you need to launch this, you need to launch that, just so you can get 1,000 plus transactions. And that's good. People are making money doing that. No problem. But my challenge for you busts that myth. My challenge for you is this. I want you to find 150 people that you can have solid, present, caring, compassionate relationships with, that you can paint that picture of the ambition, you can understand their struggle, you can walk them through steps to help them progress if they want it, with one offer that creates fireworks, infinity transactions. That's $300K a year. Then ramp that up through people spreading the word about your amazingness. If you're doing those things on that checklist, unconditional love, bringing the joy, owning the experience, being present, caring, compassionate, listening to them, reflecting on them. You get that true fan, that super fan. This spreads. Same offer. Infinity transactions. 1 million. You follow? If we had 1,000 true fans and we were at that level, what's the math? Couple million? I don't know. What is the math? If you guys want to put it in the comments, that'd be great. Does that all make sense? That's how I've approached it. The goal is 350 relationships. How? I want you to really take notes to this part. There's a very critical distinction coming up. It's what I teach in the Ultimate Relationship Outline. You all, at least in the Mastery community, you all have access to it. It's the fifth module, I believe, in the Behind the Scenes Business Builder bonus. The critical distinction is I grow versus scale. And what I want you to consider here is that I did some specific things that weren't based on scaling yet. I did things to grow the community, to get a good foundation, to be in the conversation, to understand we've created something very special with a very few amount of people when you consider the people on the planet, right? And I don't want to lose that with our original group. But when we go to scale, some of the bonuses fall off. The people that come in at maybe the 200 level, 200 people level and beyond, they will not get the check-in calls. They will not get some of the other bonuses we have. But they will see the value in what we've created, and through the community itself, they'll feel it. You see, I hope you feel this, Mastery community members, as we're building the argument, building the case for this. So what I did not do in year one, incredibly important to take notes on this. The things that I did not do, and people are shocked when I tell them this, I did not continue to post blogs. If you go to either of my blogs, I posted 1 or 2 in the last year. Charly2.com, CharlyCaldwell2.com. Okay, Char, how did you not post blogs and make the money you've made? That's a great question. You probably know the answer. If you don't, it's about the relationships and the offer. It's about the struggle and the progress. It's about reaching out to people that we know. I did not have a monetized funnel. I was going to about halfway through, and I'm like, oh, if I can make it to the first year without one, then I can demonstrate that. And we're 2 weeks away from the first year. But part of the growth is growing the community. Scaling is where we throw growth down here and we scale it, bringing in a lot of numbers for the training and so on and so forth, right? So we grow first. Grow a business means you're listening and you're building it, you're setting it up. Those first few years, in this case, my first year, I've done this rodeo before. We're about listening and hearing and so on. And now we've got the language, we've got the objections, we've got the training, we've got the mojo. Now we can go to scale. We can turn on these things. You follow? Third, did not consistently update social. If you look through my social feed, once a week here, a couple times a week there, did not have scheduled launches. The only scheduled thing that I've had is this livecast. That's it. But did not have multiple scheduled launches, which goes back to that first model that we talked about. So the question becomes, what did I do? And it all boils down to this beautiful part in the big whiteboard. It's these 4 items in the ultimate relationship outline. I met with people in person. I Zoomed, videoed with people to understand their struggle, do the assessment, see if I could help. Some of you on the call, you know that to be true because that's exactly how this came to be for us. I phoned, texted people. I emailed people one-to-one. A very clear process. Recognize their struggle, help them see the ambition, co-create what it looks like for them to get some clarity there. Do you need help with that? It's all what I teach in that beautiful course. And next thing you know, yeah, I do need help with that. Oh, I can't afford you one-on-one, but I would love to get in your community. Okay, apply. And then join. That's what I've done. That's how we've created the success we've had. So many people reverse that. And a part that I think the industry does a disservice to is us. And that's why a lot of people I think have reported at least half a dozen in the last couple months. You seem to fill the gap with where Brendan doesn't hit. Because when you're at Brendan's level, you're not worried about break even. That was a long time ago, a big story ago. And for him, it wasn't break even per se, it was getting himself out of a major amount of debt. But when you're really trying to should I step in or I'm not seeing, I got all these offers, I got to do all these blog posts, I got to do all this social. Nope. It's about relationships. It's about these 4 things. So my challenge for you is so clear on this. In the last week, let me see your schedule. Where have you had these conversations? Where have you shared your assessment if you have one? Where have you asked them where they're struggling? Where have you painted an ambition with somebody, stirred the pot? And where have you said, you know what, I can help you there faster than you can get there on your own. Would you like my help? And maybe you've said it in your own way. And then you have a very clear offer. Okay, here's your next 3 steps. First, fill out my application. Once you're done with that, go ahead. I'm going to send you my offer. I'm going to send you the pricing, or you can send that as part of your 3 steps. Fill out the application, get your spot locked in here, and then third, let's schedule that time. Here's some options for you. After you've stirred the pot. See, this isn't we're not doing this forever. We're doing this to get the conversation going so that by month 12, you have grown your monthly membership, and it's about you're feeding back from the people. They're feeling you with the content they want to learn because you're having the conversation with them. And next thing you know, you're building the content to order. Your job is to bring the love, the care, the compassion in line of your ambition, and make sure you answer their questions. Do it in a round table. That's awesome. We'll talk about that. Does that you follow? Then, when we go to scale, it's this half. Now we go to bots, Facebook bots, funnels, email sequences, launches, ads, PPC. You see the difference? This part is the scale. This part is the growth. And I really wanted to make sure you saw that because a lot of people are struggling with, I got to do ads, I got to do launches, I got to do email sequences, I got to get my funnels, I got to do what's this bots thing? I got to do bots now? This all doesn't need to be done if you want to grow a business. It's the essence of it. I'll say it one more time, send it home for you. It's the relationships plus the offers equals a transaction. My goal for you is to have a recurring transaction that supports them, helps them keep perspective for the long term, new training, and in our once a month, you're sitting down with them in a round table like we're going to do a little bit and helping them out unconditionally. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm going to help you for an hour. I mean like, we're just sitting here until. I'm going to be here until. That's how we're going to roll this afternoon live cast with you. You follow? Oh my gosh, massive distinction. When you think about the clips that I have shared, where do they come from? If you've seen them, you probably know. When I'm editing my videos from the trainings, I pull out the clips that are emotion-based. And for whatever reason, they've resulted in more relationships. Yes, more people taking me up on my offer and more people joining the community. So here's one of them. A few years ago, I was a meth of trying to keep up with, completely distracted, too much to learn and do, following too many people, felt guilty for not doing what I had signed up for. Raise your hand virtually if you have felt that for what I committed to and those I followed. And in this training, it's had over 1,000 views. I talk about follow people who are role models and results experts. That helps you whittle out the big scene. That's resulted in 18 Facebook messages. That's resulted in a lot of people inquiring about what I'm doing. And they're like, what is this? You teaching from a whiteboard? These are people from high school. Just so you know, that was a few years back. Pretty cool. Then I've been live streaming our health, wealth, and happiness. I've landed a lot of new relationships, rekindled old relationships, and really built out new members and new applications and new members from that. The live stream. I leave the live stream up. So this one was the other day, Saturday's training. It's monthly mastery day here in the studio in the sky. Take a few moments. And this one at this point, this morning, it had 246 views, right? So here's the point. When you get your monthly program going, guess what you've got? Amazing content from the program itself. And if you teach in those 3, 5, 7 teachable points, guess what each of those teachable points are? They are something you snip and share with others. Want more from where that came from? This is what we do in our monthly community. Let me know. Be happy. And for me, I leave those up for a while. So in our the YouTube live page that we have, the monthly mastery Weebly page, I'll talk about that in a minute. So people can reference that until the next one comes up. Not the business stuff, but the health, wealth, and happiness. You follow? This is huge towards hitting that. And this I've been doing on my own. Goal as we go to scale is to have my team, Jason was one of my team, is to have him help with this and then even make quote cards from some of the training. The quote cards, just so you know if you're not familiar with it, are those sayings where you clip a piece of what you said in a training and it would say, Charly Caldwell II, Health, Wealth, and Happiness, July 2018 training on topic, which was 3 powerful ways to be the best lover, leader, and friend. You see how we're building the brand, but we're doing it intelligently? That's a huge part to this. How do you feel about that? Pretty good? Here's what came in this morning, 4:44 a.m. Hey, Charly. The guy just friended me, didn't know him. Hey, Charly, I just came across your profile after seeing my suggested newsfeed, so I thought I'd reach out after watching some of your videos. They are great and inspirational. How's your day going so far? I'll catch up with you later as I'm heading to the gym. Speak soon. That's what shows up. This is one of many. I just wanted you to see that happened today as I was checking my Facebook messages. Isn't that cool? So that's the thing. And just so you know, tactically, I'm putting my videos in my personal profile, and I'll share some of the clips in my bigger Health, Wealth, and Happiness with Charly Caldwell page. That's different than our private group for our mastery community. But that's a massive distinction. It helps bust that bubble of, oh my God, I gotta do all my training and I gotta create more content. No, if you do your training right and you bring the love, the joy, the enthusiasm, the distinctions, the stories, the themes, you just clip those out and share those. So my challenge every training is to pull out 7 to 20 clips out of an hour training. And I can tell you from this training here, I've heard myself, I'm listening because I'm used to this now. I've heard myself at least 6 out of the training we've done so far in the last hour and almost half. Yeah? Pretty darn cool, isn't it? That is the magic. And I have to tell you, I want to reiterate, this is based on results. This is producing actual results right now. This isn't like, oh, this would be a great idea to try. No, this is working. Big, big distinction there. Cool? So on August 4th, 2018, we scale. Not all on that day. I'll be just coming off our trip from Switzerland, taking my babies over to see some beauty in Europe. If anybody's gonna be in Switzerland during that time, I'll give you our agenda. We'll rock some time out. We got a pretty clear agenda for them. I'm gonna be coming back later this year, as I talked about earlier. If anybody wants some studios set up in Stockholm, let's just say, Paris, London, wherever, might be able to hook that up. But that's the scene. We're gonna go into scale mode. We're gonna be incredibly diligent about not losing the beauty of what we've created, so the bonuses will shift. So you're in the community now up until we take those bonuses away for check-in calls and stuff like that. You're locked in, you're set for life that way. But when we go to scale, we gotta be very careful, because I gotta be extremely careful of my time, right? Over leveraging. So really, really clear. So that being said, it's those four. That's the growth. It's these, that's the scale. It's all in the ultimate relationship outline. It's in the, I wanna say it's module 4 or 5 in our ultimate, our behind the scenes business builder course, which is a bonus for being in the life and mastery community. If you're on here and you're not part of the community, there's an application button down below our video. You probably saw it. Jump in, apply, let us know. I want to get you into that. We'll help you out. We'll make it rock for you. I promise you, you're going to love it if you love what we're doing today. So that being said, the grow versus scale conversation. Now let's talk offers. So defining an unbelievable offer. So many people, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what that would look like. Well, we've tested and measured and battle tested it enough to figure that out for you. How's that? Good? So the very first part is you have some form of monthly training that helps them be clear about their ambition related to what you do. And you've called the ambition out for them. So we talked about that. Perspective, training, tactics. Perspective can be the way I do it, where we just self-assess once a month. Just like a lot of people go to church every Sunday to get the word and keep perspective. A lot of people go to meetings every week. Our job is once a month to sit down for 10, 20, sometimes 30 minutes and just reassess where we're at along the lines of our ambitions. Then do some training that helps level some of those numbers up and then give you some tactics. So that's a 60-minute session. Your job, 15 to 20 minutes on the perspective keeping, maybe 20 to 30, maybe longer on the training. And then the last piece, some tactics and maybe Q&A, but I would challenge you to use that as a value add for Q&A you'll see that in a minute. The online community, make sure that you have a way for the community to grow outside of Kajabi, if you're using Kajabi. So that's the Facebook group, right? Where we can get in there and share what we're working on, share some of the things we're doing, share our lifestyle, like Laura, Camilla, sharing this beauty of what they're doing and living life and setting that tone for ambition for us, right? Sometimes me, those kind of things. But what makes an extraordinary value, what makes the offer is the live Q&A roundtable, and here's why, is because when you frame that to work with you one-on-one is a couple $1,000s an hour, or $1,000 an hour, $500 an hour, and you get access to me once per month as part of our roundtable, and there's rules with that. I haven't told the rules yet, but we're going to define those as we go into scale, is that it's 20 minutes per person, and we'd like you to reserve it in advance. But also just take general questions in that time too. Because we got to be clear about, we could be there 24, 48 hours. Just so you know, on my side, if we ran out of time, like I ran out of complete energy and was exhausted 6 hours, 7, 8 hours in, I would say we're going to continue this, what works for the people that still have questions, and we would have another roundtable. That's my commitment to that. That's my commitment to your journey. That's my commitment to making sure I take care of you. A lot of people may not do that. But that's my commitment. That's how serious I take this. You follow? Pretty cool, huh? Next, one-on-one check-in calls. And it's in red because it's the big one. People are loving these check-in calls. Shout out below if you've been loving the check-in calls. Would love to hear. 10, 20, 30 minutes. Usually I aim for 20 minutes. I record the call. If we do whiteboard work, which we did, like Karen and I did yesterday, and Paul and I have done some, these kind of things. I take a picture of the whiteboard, I send you the recording of the call and the whiteboard, so you get your mastery, and you can go, but I'm listening too. I'm like, oh man, this is showing up for people. You see how this all fuels? But that's the essence of a great offer. That's the essence of an offer at $297. It's easy to price juxtaposition when you have this and this in play. It doesn't take a lot of 297s to make some major movement forward in terms of income. You follow? So I really want to make sure you got that, because a big objection is, how do I price beyond $29 a month, $97 a month? You have to, and I'm trying to think, Nina was the one we talked about, high touch. Patrick, thanks for the distinction here. You have high touch at a low price. And what we're trying to say is you get high touch at a high price. $297 a month is a high price. Well, I consider it to be a high price. You follow? So checklist for you when you define your offer. Do you have these things? Do you want to have these things? These would be a commanding. If your monthly training follows what I've taught, and you're really helping them, and you acknowledge it's about them and their struggle, and you're listening to the community and going after it, that's a big part of the training pace, the community, then the live Q&A and a one-on-one. That's the stack. If you have any questions about that or you want to work on your offer, write those down and we'll handle it in our Zoom roundtable as soon as we're done. Sound good? All right. Next up, here's what the offer looks like in Kajabi. Now, these two you can pull out because these two are the offer that I've had since we've started, but they're probably going to go away as we go into scale. So the real offer here has these components to it. It has high performance group coaching for life. As long as you're a member, I'm going to be starting new sessions, and we're going to have, in the next 2 years, we'll have 48 total sessions. If you operate every 2 to 3 weeks like we do, that's like 2.5 years of sessions. And then we have Health, Wealth, and Happiness Monthly Mastery, where we're diving deep on the stuff for you to live, to feel healthy, wealthy, and happy. So this is more of the life arena. This is based on the life assessment. Then we have Business and Internet Monthly Mastery, which is kind of a co-creation between the business assessment and the internet. We'll touch on both, but it's really more focused on the business, peppering in some of the internet concepts. Does that make sense? And then we have our roundtables. And that's the part where we're sharing the learning journey, where I put the replays for our Q&A. And then for the people that are in the group now, up until we start to scale, you get these two bonuses. The behind the scenes business builder bonus that talks about and teaches you how I'm building this to be a 7-figure business. We go deep, deep, deep on a lot of stuff I just touched on. And this one, the CHPC Business Builder course, how to create a sustainable 6-figure certified high performance coaching business, only because so many of the CHPCs have asked me that question every time I go to CHPC certification. And somebody, I don't know how that works, but it's amazing. People are like, yo, you need to figure out how to grow this business? Go talk to Charly, go talk to Charly. I've sat out in the lobby and had all these people around. I'm like, you want to talk to me? You want to talk to me? You want to talk to me? Come on in, let's talk. Now I have a course for you to follow. Just the things that I shared over the last few years so often. But you see how those bonuses, they can come and go, but they also add to that juxtaposition of the price. At $297, you're getting access to this. I'm going to charge $5,000 for that course. $4,997. You get access to this. This is $2,000. This thing we're filming right now is the basic course that's going to come with when we scale. So you can see it. See how it's all folding into itself and helping? That's the way I'm thinking through offers. So my dream for you is really clear. I want you to get this kind of feedback. And thanks to some of you Mastery community members for this. Also, I love this community. Thanks to Sean, Patrick, and Linda for connecting me with this past 2 weeks. Up my energy and enthusiasm in an amazing way. Thank you, Sarah. So true. People are looking for connection, like the great connection we all have here in Charly's group. Yes, the community feeds us all. Thanks to Charly and everyone. This came from last weekend's Zoom roundtable. That, boy, I tell you what, you get that sensation, that kind of feedback. You walk out, you clicking your heels together, you're like, I'm on. I just want to support and serve more. I want to live into this in better and bigger ways. What can I do to really surprise you, help you, champion you on? Those kind of things. So your 3 big challenges. I know we covered a ton. And if you're still with me, we're going to energize in a little bit. Really big part of this is to consider what we've covered. First, create your spreadsheet, the single offer. What does it look like for you? Really think about the elements of what we've covered, best practices. Really think about how you're going to bring your own into this, the perspective that you want to keep, the training you want to do, the tactics you want to deliver. Maybe create another spreadsheet that shows the first 2 months, 3 months of content with what you know, and then be open to adjusting that based on what others are feedback to you. Next, create, build, and maintain relationships. I hope you felt that part. That's what we've done to grow. Just create, build, and maintain exceptional, I call them exceptional relationships, to really go after that. Next, use your perspective keeper. Ask, can I help you? If they recognize that they rated low in an area or two. If your perspective keeper happens to be a PDF assessment. Connect it to your offer. So again, we're stirring the pot first, showcasing that, yeah, there is an issue. What does it feel like to live where you are with that rating? What could it be? Realize most people don't dream big enough. So our job is to help them see the bigger ambition. Spend time there stirring the pot. Tell them you have the thing that bridges the gap, and ask them, would you like some help here? I can help you. And like in an email, we don't say, I got help for you, do this, this, and this. That's bad practices. What good practices are is to say, would you like some help there? And they come back and go, yes, please. Then you say, all right, here's your next step. Fill out the application. Once you're done with that, I'll see the application, I'll respond with the step after that. So they're kind of co-creating the process with you through an email sequence. You follow? That's the magic of this shift. That's a lot of sales mastery in there, by the way, and influence. Our journey so far, know your numbers and your dream lifestyle, brainstorm the big ambition, create your perspective keepers. It's not about you, it's about them. Create your single offer. I hope we crushed that for you. Hit on a ton. Let's throw a ton at you. You can probably see why the replays are going to be real powerful. We've thrown a ton at you. So with that being said, you know what time it is. It's time to take that break. Stretch it out. I'm going to do a couple stretches, and I'm going to take some water, and we will start number 6 in about a minute, and we'll just hang out and see what's going on, right? Good stuff so far? Are you loving what we're covering? Awesome! All right, let's see. We got some feedback. Off camera over here. Janny, no, those bonuses, they'll always be there for you for the life of the subscription. What Janny asked was, does it mean the behind the scenes and CHC Business Builder course will disappear for founders? No, not at all. For early adopters, if you have those, they'll always be there for you. All that means is that going into the scale part of this, those pieces will be taken away and there'll be a different set of bonuses. Something we teach in Experts Academy, like I teach it in my work, but also in Experts Academy, is you're varying up the bonuses as you move through time, and we'll cover that in our live Q&A too. Nathan asks, what's the check-in or cutoff for when people don't get the one-on-one calls? And I'm assuming you mean if you offer it, like when do I stop? If people come back and they say, hey, I need a check-in call, I'll try to be accommodating at this point. That works out great. So Nathan, if you need a check-in call, let's set that up. Check-in calls rock. Oh, Sabina rocking it. Oh, Karen's pushing it out, loving it. Oh, Linda, we're going to cover that. Let's cover that in our time management is where my curiosity is. Let's cover that in our Zoom roundtable. I'm going to print that out right now. Well, I'll print it after because I don't want the printer making noise. Excellent. All right. Looking good, guys. Wow, I love the interaction. Thanks so much for asking great questions. Hope we're crushing it for you. So you know what time it is. We got 2 more steps. Luckily, I made these a little leaner because I knew I threw a ton at you. And this kind of just ends us on a nice note. All right, here we go. Number 6. Guess what it is? Build world-class training. So we win over a lot of the fundamentals and principles of that. Perspective, keeping everything else. I just want to make sure we're dialing this in for you. Here's the premise. People need to feel the emotional connection to be inspired, motivated, and believed in before they'll connect and take action with what you teach. Remember, we talked about that with TSTC a little bit, but adult learning theory says ambition-based training and marketing rock. Like when you can fire people up towards something and you get them all wired up, and then next thing you're like, this is all you need to do to get there. They view it differently. Like so often, Tim Ferriss' podcast recently said, you find 2 people that want to run. One person who sees it as simple. He says, okay, got my shoes on, I'm gonna go out for a run. The other person who makes things difficult says, I gotta go and get running shorts. I got to get socks on. I got to go over and get my shoes on. Then I got to go to the place to run. You see? They look at the tasks that are required and they see it as a disastrous set of things I got to do. But when your ambition's so clear, I'm going to go run. I'm going to go listen to music and learn. Then the running, the process of it happens more. You're more activated towards it. You follow? Really, really powerful. So the powerful trifecta here is in the idea that we have, big part of our training is, let me make sure we've got, yeah. So we have the idea that we have perspective, training, and tactics. And we're really clear about what that perspective is, as we've talked through. And we're ultra clear about how it benefits them and those they care for. And we're firing up the ambition to make it real. And I wanted to make sure you saw the example of it in play for those who aren't in the community. Those three elements where we rate ourselves, and then we train towards leveling those things up, and then we give you tactics to hit the ground running with. Follow? Really, really powerful. And then that training of TSTC. The surprise bonus you get, of course, is creating the ambition-based training where I dive deep on that. So big part of this, kind of reiterating what we talked through, is the theme, the story, and that story arcs the struggle to the ambition towards what you're going to do to bridge the gap, to train them, to coach them, and then challenge them. You follow? So world-class training has these elements in it. In this step, I just wanted to kind of dive deeper for you to really let that set in, to really help you understand these are the things. So when I take notes, you'll see I'll write in themes. When Brendan's teaching from stage, I'm on my laptop going to town. I've got like 20 pages for every day at the event. I'll have the themes, I'll have the distinctions, which are the teachable points usually. I'll have a story, like I won't write his story, but I'll say the car accident story. And then I'll write down why it was important for me to recognize we have a short amount of time on this planet, we gotta go, you know? And then I'll put in action. You'll see it in my notes. If you've seen my notes, you know this. Action, and here's the challenges that he issues. And he'll say it from stage, my challenge for you is, or in his videos, my challenge for you is, or in trainers that are really good, they're saying those things. And really making sure that you continually inspire, motivate, care for, love, support, and challenge them. So I teach this in Business Monthly Mastery. I think it was in May of this year or earlier, the Teachable Content Pyramid. And what that tells you is that the best trainers understand the research, the data, and they share that. They also understand the tactics. They also have stories that support trainable, teachable points, the tactics. They have themes. But the part where you produce extra value is up here. They also transcend and transform the experience. What does that mean? Transform is where you help people, challenge them. You tell them they're capable of doing it. I've done a lot of that in this training so far. And then at level 4, transcendence, you do this. You basically challenge them and those they care for, love, and serve. So what you're saying is things like, you know what, if you get this right and you do these things, how are you going to feel? How are the people that you serve, care for, love, and the world going to feel? What shows up for you there? There's no bigger ignition than that. That's the reason, just so you know, why I got into Brendan's work. He said in these words, and I heard my name. He didn't say my name, but I heard my name. Charly, I want you to walk through the door with all kinds of energy. So when you see, this is how I interpret it. When you see your girls sitting there, it's not like, oh, I got to play with my girls. It's like, oh my gosh, I got so much energy. I want to play with my girls. And I'm on it. You see, that was the shift because I was the guy that was the other one. As you know my story, much bigger dude back then, a lot less energy. This was 2011. And now it's just, yeah, got it. What am I doing to support those practices? But that was the ignition that got me into the program. And then he lived into that TSTC. TSTC. Theme, story, compassionate story, challenge, trainable points, and challenge. TSTC. Cool? If you want more training, you got that in the bonuses. That'll be there a little later today for you. Making sure I'm taking care of. If you're in the mastery community, you already have it. It's July 2018's training. So a couple people reached out as I was building this and they said they wanted to know the tech. So I'm trying to make it as easy for you. The page that you're on right now, I prefer live cast training. You could just record this in advance and put it out. I love the live experience. I love this co-creation where I'm checking in on you and we're doing the Q&A afterwards. So for the live cast, the page you're on right now, it's built in Weebly. Weebly is a website builder, web page builder even, and it's a free website. And I've done it and kept it there for a reason because I want people to be inspired to be able to do this without having to buy Kajabi or any tool. So they could do their own training just to get warmed up, do a beta, free training or not. Talk about that in just a second. So YouTube Live is what I'm using to stream this video for you. The beauty of it is this. If you missed any of this, the moment I shut this live cast down, YouTube puts the replay up immediately in that same location, that same YouTube address, you know, the video view address. It automatically puts it up. I don't have to do anything. So I have bought myself time to edit this, piece it out, and put it up in Kajabi for the replay. So people that bought this, they were like, dude, I'm not gonna be able to make it at the time you got. I'm like, don't worry, the moment we're done, the replay's up. You got the connection information. It saves so much time, and people are like loving that. Oh, I wanna go back to that. If you do like I do in timestamp, like when Charlie said this in step 4 at an hour and 20 minutes in, I need to rewatch that. So I'm like, back to it, watch it again. That piece. So I'm using YouTube Live for that. It's totally free. YouTube Live, the Creator Studio. You just go in your YouTube account. You may have to do a couple things to get it enabled, but the live streaming on YouTube now, it's embeddable. That's how this is embedded on this page in Weebly. And if you want, I'll share the embed code that I use. It's super simple. Let me know if you want that and I'll share that for you. I'll probably put that in as a PDF in the replay, but I'll share it with you just so you can see what that looks like. The Facebook comments, that's how you guys are commenting. We're using Facebook's commenting engine. Again, another embed code. You just comment and Facebook handles it all. What's cool about it is if you click on somebody's name, if they have that enabled, you can go to their Facebook profile and learn more about it. Cool? Then we have Weebly, and I kind of already mentioned that, but that's the underlying thing that lets the glue of my logo, the title of today, the YouTube live stream, then the Facebook comments and a couple of buttons in play. And then at the very bottom, like an inspirational quote. And you see at the very bottom, if you scroll down, you'll see it's a Weebly free-powered site. But this is the beauty of it. If you did not want to buy Kajabi or any tool to do this, you could create pages for each of your month's training, and you could password protect them in Weebly. And you could use PayPal for the recurring subscription. PayPal has that option. You can just take PayPal, which can take credit cards and everything, and do that. I preferred to use Kajabi because of the landing pages, the email integration, and all those kind of things. So if you were going to use an email program, I'd recommend MailChimp. I think they still have the free account for up to 200 or 500 accounts. So you can get started for free using these kinds of tools. And I'm more than happy to give you like the way that I've created. I even film a screencast if you think that would help of how I set up that page. Super simple. Drag over and embed, copy and paste what YouTube gives me. Drag over this, copy and paste the Facebook comments, put my text in between, boom, done. You follow? Pretty cool. So all these are free, as I mentioned. For our roundtables, I tested a bunch of different things. I love Zoom. Now I do pay for that, $14.99 a month. And as you'll see, it lets you connect via video, via audio. If you're just tapping on an iPad or something, you don't want to show yourself or watch. But it also has international phone support. So people can call from around the world through their international bank. So this is not only great for the live Q&A, I also use that for our call tonight. Our session on high performance charge connection is this piece. So I just wanted to make sure as you saw this, we reiterated what it is to do world-class training. It's hitting the marks on the ambition-based piece. Perspective, training, tactics. It's hitting the marks on the tech. Like this is a clean interface in Weebly. Logo, video, comments, a couple buttons. That's all free. If you want to do the live part of this, $14.99 a month. If you're charging $97 a month, you have one subscriber, you're already cash flow positive from that particular expense anyway. You follow how this all connects? Cool. The beauty too is you can stream from your phone. Like a lot of people are like, I don't have the big camera, I don't have all this stuff. You can stream to Facebook or YouTube from your phone. You just set up the event in Facebook, or excuse me, in YouTube, and you go to your phone and you click on the event and it just uses your phone's camera. You put it on a tripod, which I have around here somewhere, a tripod that has the phone holder, and you just teach from there. My challenge for you though is to assure your audio is awesome. That's the part people are less forgiving about. The video can be okay, but the audio better be great. So you could use your mic with the earbuds or AirPods even. You could use a microphone setup to go into the phone. Do that. That's fine. It's a great place to start. If you look at my starting from scratch videos, that was using Haji Podgy camcorder. You see a red dot in our very first monthly mastery training. But we grew, right? We got better. We leveled up as we moved through time. So that's a big part of it. If you need the full breakdown of my studio, I know a lot of you have visited it. It's at charlycaldwell2.com, C-H-A-R-L-Y, caldwell2.com. And that really breaks down for you the way, and I'll give you a tour of the space, the exact way I set it up, how I got rid of all my cameras and got one. That beautiful thing I'm looking at, which I see your eyes in there. The Panasonic GH5. And it's been, I love it because I got a power pack plugged in. It's got 2 SD cards in it. I can film for like 12 hours at the resolution I've set. And it's recording still. That's good. The cool part too is on the screen, I can see the screen by the camera. It shows that my mic is picking up both channels. And the reason that's important is your batteries may die and you may not know it. And if you're not paying attention to like, or I have somebody, I have my phone here in case something goes sideways, people can text me and let me know. If you're not paying attention to those things, if you're running a one-man show, that can be an issue. So I wanted to make sure I covered you there. So the basics are covered. The big tour is covered. So your 3 big challenges here. Number 1, watch the bonuses. Make sure as you get masterful in that TSTC and the ambition-based piece, that you watch the bonus on ambition-based curriculum and marketing, and you watch the bonus on membership retention. And I dare say watch it 10 times. There's been a few people have reported to me, they get the audios from our monthly community, and they listen to whatever it is for them that resonates 10, 20, 30 times while they're working out. I'm like, wow, what did I say? And I listen to them again. I'm like, okay, that could be good. I had that struggle. Cool. Next challenge for you is learn the teachable content pyramid. That is in, I want to say it's in May or April of our monthly mastery, where I break that down for you. That was something Brendan taught in the original Total Product Blueprint as a total side shoot on one of his sessions that I found so amazingly helpful. But that is a huge, huge help to how you want to practice your language towards really owning the way that you'll hear me talk a lot through practice. It's what I would want anyway. I just needed to learn how to be articulate with it. That I'm helping you, caring for you, supporting you, and those you care for, love, and are servant, and the world, right? That whole tier up comes from the teachable content training. And it's just so important. It's not inauthentic for me. Some people are like, well, I'm going to say those things, it's not going to feel authentic. It is if you believe it. If you believe what you've got is going to help people really move the needle in their life, in their business, or whatever that ambition is that you're going after for them, then you say stuff like that and it comes out full-heartedly. You just probably aren't used to saying that. Unless you're like a speaker who's trained yourself to say stuff like that. Or if you're on video a lot. Cool? So here we are in our journey. Boy, we're almost done. How are we doing? Our know your numbers in your dream lifestyle. Brainstorm that big ambition. Create your perspective keepers. It's not about you, it's about them. Create your single offer. Remember that beautiful formula. Relationships plus offer, period, no S, equals transactions. And build world-class training. And I gave you the essence. Reiterated what we had taught, but also gave you the baseline. We're training here. You guys are getting a lot out of this. This is a free website, free web page through Weebly with YouTube live integration. And you can even integrate Facebook. I tried that. It did work. Back when I tried it, the Facebook integration wasn't as good of quality as this. And then finally the Facebook comments to get the comments fired up. Cool? Good stuff. So you know what we got to do? What do we got here? We got about 10 minutes left for the schedule, but I think we'll probably hit that. Let's take a little break and enjoy. Bring in the joy. Oh, what an amazing time with you. Love this. And just so you know, what we're doing right here as we take this break, this will be cut out in the actual course, right? My cue as I'm editing is I'll see our journey piece with the 6, and I'll know that's the end of part 6. And then when I start the next session, when I grab the clicker again and step into it, then that's where I'll start. I'll cut right in on that, and that'll be session 7. So you'll see 7 different modules in this course when I put it together. It's pretty cool how we're making this replay into a course too, isn't it? And you're going to have audio, and you're going to have transcriptions, and then any of the other things that I promised, like the bonuses. And that's why when I go back through the videos, I actually watch them and take my own notes for my own training. Sometimes I'm blown away with like, wow, I said that on the cuff? Because I've challenged myself to step into that extemporaneous speaking from an inspiring, motivating place around being clear about what my beliefs are. Boy, that's pretty heavy-duty psychological stuff, isn't it? All right, are you ready for part 7? Are you still with me? You got more in you? I got more in me. All right, here we go. Part 7. So here we go with part 7. Deepen the journey. Want to fast forward? So here's the essence of it. When you think about how I was able to scale that number that we shared at the beginning so quick, it was because I'm able to deepen the journey with people. So people who work within your community, guess what they are? They're prime people to work with you one-on-one in high-performance coaching for me, or in vision, strategy, and planning for me. And many of our beautiful mastery community members have taken me up on that offer. And that's another part, another monetization path. You don't have to do that if you want just one offer. But I do that because I want to assure I'm taking care of you, and we can work through a very specific process that gets you there faster than what we're teaching, training, and going after in a month-to-month basis. Follow? So let's kind of break that down. Once people know, I always say love, and trust you, they'll want more help from you. Always have ways for your students to deepen their learning adventure with you. So I teach this at the very beginning, the first 2-3 modules of the Behind the Scenes Business Builder course. And that is the How I Serve board, to create a visualization. But to know, I also teach this as Hub of Profit, Spokes of Value. The hub of profit in the middle is the monthly membership. That's the thing. But a spoke of value could be one-on-one coaching. Another spoke of value could be one-on-one consulting, or helping them down their path of mastery. But the end game is, if they go through one-on-one coaching or vision, strategy, planning, they're going to want to continue to keep perspective with new concepts and new training, right? So that hub of profit, your monthly program, is always on the table for them. So it's 2 ways. People work with me one-on-one first, then I'm telling them, you know what, to be part of it, and this is what my conversation is with people that aren't in our community now, you're gonna wanna join our community because I'm gonna be teaching you stuff that I'll reference in our coaching. So go ahead and click here, join the community, and click here and sign up for your one-on-one coaching. You see how it's a bundled offer? Pretty powerful. I've been testing that the last couple of months. It's been working out really wonderfully. So that's a big part of this. So this is the How I Serve visualization. This came out of module 3 actually in the Business Builder course. And that's the whiteboard from here, screenshot over here. So let's zoom in on this. Over here we have, this is just my life assessment brand, my life assessment ambition. We have a health, wealth, and happiness challenge that's out there. Many of you have taken it. If you want to take it, bit.ly/10 days, the number 4, you. And it walks through 10 specific days. I'm all over the place, 1 topic per day, walking you through this challenge. Kind of warms the conversation up. That's the first thing. That's an email opt-in. And these E's and R's, that just means it's evergreen, it's always on, and it's a relationship builder. It helps people see what's possible. And you better believe I'm talking about the ambition in that, to have a healthy, wealthy, happy life. Then if they want to assess where they're at in a bigger scope, the life assessment, you'll see a brackets around that. The life assessment has a $7 upsell with 3 bonuses in it. That lets me just walk you through it in 20 minutes. Soon I'll be creating the Life Mastery course with bonuses in that. And that's going to be $497, 7-week course, where we go through each of those assessment items in major amounts of detail and depth. Worksheets, lots of TSTC, 1 topic, 1 element, 1 step per week, 7 weeks. You follow? Like, dang. But you want mastery, I'm going to deliver it for you. Next, we have the Health, Wealth, and Happiness Monthly Mastery, plus Roundtable. So I could, and it's actually engineered to sell that separately with roundtable access for a different price point. But as of right now, I'm not offering that. I don't have that in any active rotation. The Life and Business Mastery community includes that. And that's the core offer for life. This one. That's my single offer. And I could shed all this and just go after this, but I want to warm up the conversation through an online funnel. You see how that does that? And then down below that is where I have deepening the journey. High performance group coaching, which if you are aware, I know you know this, it's part of the mastery community. Strategy session. That's a separate item, a separate offer for people that want help. They may not be in the mastery community, but they may come to me and say, dude, I need some clarity or energy. And they may not say it that way. They may just say, dude, I'm destroyed in life. I don't know where to go. What can you do to help? So I'll send them to the application, high performance questionnaire, and then that fires up the strategy session, which if they like that, the next step is high performance group one-on-one coaching. But I would dare challenge them to get in the community and do self-study with the group coaching that we already have in play. A couple people in our community are doing that. They've started with session 1, which was back quite a while ago, and they've been working their way up through the high performance sessions that are already in the community and doing self-study. And then they report back to me and they comment below and I get those email triggers that let me know, hey, you know what, you need help. And then finally, HP Continued Mastery. There's a couple people that I've helped that are like, I just need to have the continued high performance conversation. And I call that Continued Mastery. So we check in every 3-4 weeks. They pay a few $100s a month to me just for that. Now, when they get that, I usually have them sign up for the community, and then that's a bundled offer, essentially. Is that we do mastery work at a higher price than $297 per month. We'll check in on a month-to-month basis. So I'm pretty sure this may be overwhelming. If it is, don't worry about it. All I'm trying to show you is that if you deepen the journey, you have more chance to get more revenue if that's what you want. And that's how we've stacked a lot of the offers. What that means is people are like, love the community, I need more help here, here, and here. Can we go through that? Yeah, I have something for you. Here's the steps for that. Application or report back on this questionnaire, and then go ahead and get this offer on top of your mastery community offer. And a lot of times there's a discount involved. You get 10% off, 20% off, 30% off. Sometimes I'm running promos like that, depending on my schedule. Right now I have one opening left going into the last part of this year, and I'm super tight on that. So I'm very clear about making sure that I'm living into my life's ambitions, to do a lot of the scale part, but also taking care of the beautiful people. You rocking it out here with me this day. That's how that works. So that's, believe it or not, that's my simple version of my How I Serve board. Is a beefier one right over there on the behind the door of this studio. So at the very top, a bi-weekly video post and a bi-weekly podcast, that's fueled from down here, as I talked about earlier. So I'm just putting those out. My goal as we go to scale mode is that I'm living into the bi-weekly part of that. But that in scale mode, I'm going to need to probably delegate. So I'll edit the video clips and give them, and then they can put them out. I'll give the descriptions, those kind of things. But that's a big part of that whole journey. So with everything we've covered, it's 12:30. I've got a couple big challenges, and we'll wrap this beautiful thing up. Grab a little bit of lunch, and then we'll get right into our Zoom roundtable. Here's your 3 big challenges, what I just covered. First, brainstorm ways you can fast forward their progress. If you're a certified high performance coach, one-on-one coaching. That one-on-one experience. High touch, high price. For me, for 24 sessions, which I give a couple bonuses, it's $18K a year. And we've had quite a few people sign up for that over the last 6 months, which is amazing. Next, develop your How I Serve visualization. If you need help with that, go into the Behind the Scenes Business Builder course and watch me break that down for you and build it with you. And then share that with me, because I'll help you tune it. We can do a check-in call if you want to really own that for you. Cool? Third, practice describing it. This is where we talk a lot about sentence starters. So when we say stuff in video, like when we're in our monthly program, you'll hear me say things like, if you guys need more help here, I offer this strategy session or one-on-one where I can help you further. Just let me know, and we'll walk down that path. If you think you need more depth, more progress, you want to make more progress faster than you would on your own, got something for you. You describe it in your way, but the challenge is to say that often in your monthly program so people know you got them. You follow? That's the shift. So that being said, we're going to sum it all up. Now I'm going to give you some things to avoid, and we're going to close this down and rock some lunch and then rock our beautiful time together. Get the headphones out, have some time where we can debunk, Q&A, do all that. I got some questions right here. Here's the breakdown. First, know your numbers and your dream lifestyle. Your break even. What is it you're going after? Don't worry about like what you got to do to charge that amount. Just go after the numbers. Really, really important to have that. Brainstorm the big ambition. We talked about my 5 Ps. Then create your perspective keepers. The life, the business, the internet. That's my perspective keepers. That is all encompassing for each of those realms. Like, there isn't anything else that I want to talk to you about. It's all in there. Next, it's not about you. It's about them. That's why it's in caps. I cannot stress that enough. You see it if you're in the community. You know that to be true. Number 5, create your single offer. Relationships plus offers equals transactions. Our job is to get transactions. If you're hurting financially, your job is to create transactions. My challenge for you is to do that with recurring revenue so you see those payments come in like I showed you. Number 6, build world-class training. We dove extra deep there. We talked about the tech. Perspective, training, tactics, TS, TC. That with all the teachable points you relate, you have a theme for them. That you have a compassionate story that arcs the struggle to the ambition. That you were real clear about those teachable points that bridge the gap between the struggle and the ambition, and you're able to challenge them. Yeah, and give them tactics. I love it. Deepen the journey. Fast forward their progress. They'll come to you. They'll ask, is there any way I can work with you to help me? I've had that a lot. Love to do that. But I got to be careful about my time too, right? So that's all part of that dream lifestyle. So I would challenge you as you think through your dream lifestyle. Here's what I want to do to support the community and grow it. And here I'll take 3 one-on-one calls or one-on-one clients or 5 one-on-one clients on a bi-weekly basis on top of that. And let's go. You follow? I hope this is all connected for you. So let's go ahead and dive deep on the 7 things to avoid. This kind of references what we've talked through, but I'm going to call you out on some of these too. Here we go. You ready? 7 things to avoid. First, being dull, lifeless, uncompassionate. If you cannot bring the energy, we're 2.5 hours in right now. If you cannot bring the energy, work towards it. Practice on camera. My 2010 videos, I wasn't terribly dull, lifeless, and uncompassionate, but I was pretty darn close. So you gotta command it. You gotta live, as we teach in our performance, you gotta live in the energy, the physiology, the things that support you. You gotta go after it. Second, I think I'm going to. This is a pet peeve of mine now. I don't want to hear another person say, I think I'm going to start a monthly membership. Like, own it. I'm going to go after a monthly membership if that's your desire and make it everything. So what I mean by that is you go into people that you know, your family, your friends, associates, co-workers, people at church, people at networking events, anybody, and you ask them, what are you struggling with? Or you frame your introduction like I do. Hey, you know what I do? I help people from where they're at to where they want to be. Most people don't know where they want to be. I do it 3 ways: in life, in business, online. And then ask them, that's my challenge for me and for them, are you struggling in any of those areas? And they do it with that kind of face. Next thing you know, they're like, yeah. And it's usually, just so you have a frame of reference, it's usually around profitable business that they're still connected to, so they're proud of it, or relationships in life. Those are the 2 big ones that come up. And that's hit right in the assessments. It's right out of the park. Love it. Took a while to get there, but I'm here to help you with that. So I just don't want you to think like, oh my God, how am I going to figure that out? But that's a big part of it. So commit. If you're going to go after this dream, commit to what we've covered today. Commit, commit, commit. Next, overcomplicating. It's 1 offer in 150 R's, relationships. But to get to break even, if you follow this model and you break even 60K, it's 1 offer in 60 or 50 people. 50 people at 97 a month is like 58, almost 60K a year, right? So that's the component of this. It's the one offer. And I really hope we arc that message for you about the relationship, about the struggle, about stirring the pot, about the ambition, about the assessment or that perspective keeper that you can give them that shows you clearly where they need the most help, and that you say, I can help you, after you've asked them, do you want some help here? You follow how that works? I know I'm throwing a ton at you. I'm so happy you're still here at 12:36. Thinking you have all the answers. That's the biggest thing I've seen. I got this all planned out. And I feel bad because some of the people that I've helped, and nobody in our mastery community has been down this path that I've witnessed anyway, they don't recognize people support they create. Like, they're so disconnected that you're just going to pound stuff at them. They completely ignore what Jeff Walker teaches, one of the godfathers of internet marketing. The ask method, the seed launch, the co-creation with the check-in calls, the live Q&As, the ear to the ground, the watching the comments, the listening to the emails, the printing of the emails so that I have questions. Hey, Nathan, guess what I got here? With your smiling face on it. Can you see it? Yeah. And I got these questions already lined up for us as we go into our Q&A roundtable, right? So we don't have all the answers. As a matter of fact, we had the answers for the first 3 months. And we're backing off that pretty quick. But I would challenge you even with that. If you get people enrolled before you even start, ask them what it would be for them to support them out of the gate. What do you need to know right now? Ask a few, take your notes, create something around that. Follow the theme, story, teachable points, challenge method. Cool? Next, blogging. Use snippets and live casts. Here's the thing I know. I've seen people spend literally hours every month putting out blog posts, and some of them do them without call to actions. And what do I mean by call to action? At the very end or interspersed throughout the post, it's like, if you need help with what I'm covering here in the story, or if you feel like this story that I'm telling the person in the story, go ahead and apply to help, see if I can help you. They miss that. But from what I've personally learned, I get more powerful feedback and sales conversion from that. Just clipping out snips. People are like, that's one of 3? What's the other 2? Dang, that made me think. You follow? Did I relieve you a little bit? You get your monthly program going, you've got content. Because literally, if you can get 4 clips out of your one hour training, that's 4 weeks of content. You get that transcribed, boom, there's a transcription. Maybe clean up the transcription. And why not just give them the audio? Put the audio on soundcloud.com. Link to it like I do right below the blog post. Hey, if you want to listen to this, go ahead and get the audio. It might be a couple minutes long. That's a good post. Might be a few minutes long. Maybe a little longer. Whatever that was for you in your training or your teaching. Cool? I hope I saved you some time here. This is a big part of this. Rocking it. Next up, thinking people closest won't buy. So the people closest to you, for whatever reason, and I was like this when I got my CHPC certification originally, I was like, oh, I can't coach my family. I can't coach my friends. They think I'm crazy. No, they're the ones that probably need it the most. So that's a big part of my scale piece, is I'm going to all my family members. And this is something I've learned recently. Because I was talking to some of my family members at our reunions and stuff this last few months and weddings. And they're like, dude, I had no idea you were up to that. And I'm like, my bad. This is something I know better. So you ask them for their struggles. Ask them to review the assessments or assessment, whatever your perspective keeper is. See where they're falling off. See if they can support it. And I know a lot of people are like, you know what? The person I'm with, my husband, my wife, my friend, my close buddy, whatever, they think I'm nuts doing this stuff. But if you bust that myth and you somehow weave your way in, and if you need help there, talk to Karen and use some humor and work in a way, you know what? And this is how it works for me with people that are close. I've had a couple people convert, if you want to call it that. I'm just like, you know what? What would life be like if you busted that thought and just took a look at what I got anyway? And it didn't work the first time. Didn't work the second time. I just kept coming at it different ways. They're like, all right, let me see what you got. And then they're reading one of the books that I recommend. Going after it. You follow? It's like that piece. But you bring in the humor, the joy, the love. And Karen, you've got that cornered. So talk to Karen, get her new book. Let's rock it. Pretty good. Cool. All right, number 7 is sitting on your bleep. Develop the top 10 things you need to do from today's live cast, from this training. Develop your top 10. And if 10's too big of a number, develop your 1. And I'll tell you what that 1 is. Go back to the question that Brendan asked and then I added to. What's your 1 offer that you can create that you'll purposefully put in life and go after for the rest of your life? Like, what is that for you? That is the magic. So we're closing up. I just want to say, if you're looking for what to do next, watch the replay 3 times. You're gonna hear things. I know I threw a ton at you. You're gonna be like, oh, I kind of heard that, but it didn't sit. It's that 3rd time I've noticed when I speak. I used to do a lot of public speaking. I'm doing a lot more of it this year. I got a couple gigs lined up for the last half of the year, which is awesome. But the big part of it was the person, a couple people came up to me after the 3rd time hearing my presentation. They're going, dude, it finally clicked. I know what I got to do. So it's that 3rd time of integration. So whether you watch the replays, like watch the video replays, which you can watch the moment I turn that live stream off, YouTube puts it right up. So it's available for you immediately. Or you can listen to them and I'll get them transcribed for you as well. Whatever it is, take them, print them, highlight them, whatever it is for you. Make sure you get that integration because there's key points that were said that you kind of may have heard and you're like, or maybe you didn't hear it, but you gotta integrate. Next, accept and own the challenges. There was 3 challenges per lesson. That's 21 challenges. Really go after those. And if you need to prioritize, because that's a lot, prioritize the challenges that you know you need to handle first. Usually it starts with number 1. Define your numbers, know your numbers and your dream lifestyle. If you need help there, I'm happy to articulate and share and even role play with you. Be happy to do that. Next, if you need support, love and challenge, and you're not part of our mastery community, you know what that means. Application, bit.ly/mastery app. Go ahead and apply. We'll make sure we take care of you. Living in everything we've taught, you get to see it all and go after it. You get to see the trainings. You get to see how we're living into this. You get to see the evolution, because I can tell you, my starting from scratch video is nowhere near where I am now in my belief. I watched that video, I was like, wow, I got to vary up my physiology a little bit. You know what I mean? So with that all being said, wrapping up, 15 minutes over time, did really well today. Very special thank you. I just want to say thanks so incredibly much for being here. Imagine what Ed taught me. Jar, you got to think different. You got this, man. Sounds to me like you need a new perspective. He would challenge me too when I come back up. Every day around 4:30, he'd open his door in his office and you'd hear the beer crack. Char, how you doing on that? I'm working at Ed. Sometimes I go in and talk. Usually on Fridays I go and hang out with him. So Ed, thanks so much for all of us. Because without that distinction, I don't think I'd be here right now with you in this way. Rest in peace, my man. Bob and B, for really being the role models for me and so many others, inspiring us to be of unconditional love, to be supportive, to not only do that for me, but also to show me from an ambitious perspective how to go out in life and adventure and enjoy. They were always traveling. Gramps had a motorhome, a couple motorhomes, when I would drive them and I'd be like, oh, and we'd drive to Florida together from Michigan. And then to live my own dream. To be clear about what that was back then. We had to define that on the cuff because we had no idea our business was going to be like sold, like win the lottery kind of sold. And to have that first pull-in, brand new intruder from Damon Enterprises or Industries, I think is what it's called. And they're still around, by the way. Slide this, slide it out. Slide the bedroom, slide it out. Pop the Jeep on the back. Put that Jeep, go explore. To live into that. So as I talked about, that's my dream too. Is to come help some of our mastery community members all around the US, around the world, set up their studios. And we teach from there. That'll be my challenge. We either teach or coach from there. Because if that's on the line, we got to make sure it works. And we got to make sure the lighting's right. We got to dial it in. And you can watch it happen. And if you're a CHPC and we're doing a coaching call, we'll work together and maybe coach together. I don't care. We'll bring the value together. That's my goal for 2018, 2019, is to get out and adventure more now that we've got this humming and really going after it. So that being said, just want to say thank you. You know my job. I've said it many times. My job is to help you live into those 5 Ps, to live purposefully, passionately, positively, productively, and profitably. And I hope this training did that for you. So I'm going to see you guys in about 20 minutes, well, 15 minutes, in that Zoom roundtable address. If you're watching the replay, you'll see the roundtable replay there with all the goodies for you. Thank you so much. Have an awesome one. Talk to you soon. Bye. Rock. Peace.